Beep boop.
If you want some, you want a piece of me? Get some. You got it! Yeah, Hulk Hogan!
It's gotta be special.
M2J.
Hey,
Danny Love.
This show is so stupid.
Owen Hart has left the building.
Sean Michael Spurge.
Feel the power!
Welcome to the very best fan-made wrestling podcast in the world today.
Oh crap, Roman Reigns is gonna talk. Go to commercial.
Doing the job.
Doing the job!
Tuesday.
I know how to do the job.
Doing the Job podcast.
Tuesday, doing the job.
You're here.
Doing the job.
Doing the job.
That's so stupid.
This is Doing the Job.
That's my way of saying I like the movie.
Oh, me too. That's why you wanted the intro without music. You sneaky.
Oh, I asked you for that intro weeks ago.
I gave it to you.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with Star Wars. I just happened to say oh wait, I've got this. I might as well put it to use.
Aha. Well. Anyway,
I'm M2J.
I am Denny Luggs. We are here in a post-Star Wars Episode 7 world.
Post-Star Wars.
Now?
Well, kind of the present right now.
Yeah, but it's post it happening and people know about it and have seen it.
It is a thing.
Yes, it is a thing.
Yeah.
Way more exciting than this week's Monday Night Raw.
I bought my tickets on Fandango, and they sent me an email and said, review the movie.
Or Fandango.
I go on Fandango, and it says, make sure you don't give any spoilers. Just review the movie.
Right.
So my review is something to the tune of, this is by far the best Star Wars movie to come out in the last 17 years.
17 years. Let's see. 17 years ago would be what year?
1999.
1999.
Actually, it would technically be 98, but the very end of 98. And the first prequel came out in May. So if I would have said, if I would have said 16 years ago, it would have been December of 99, which wouldn't have encompassed Episode 1.
See, I wouldn't have said 17. I would have taken it back further to 83 because now you're saying that there were better Star Wars movies that came out in 97, which were the special editions, and that is incorrect.
No, those did not come out in 97. Those were re-released. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I guess so. They are the same movies
That
with
is a different thing.
awful changes.
No,
awful changes.
The changes. You remember the changes?
Stop it.
The changes went through several iterations, and
yes.
the first charge, they weren't terrible. I mean, they were.
Yes, they were.
They were unwelcome, but
yes, they were.
But we didn't have like Jar Jar Binks find his voice in Return of the Jedi. We didn't have Anakin Skywalker played by Hayden Christensen show up
in The Force Ghost. Yeah,
right. Like that all came much later. Like
they added in a lot more nose. There was a lot more nose added in. Yeah, but still the changes that they made, and specifically A New Hope and Jedi, are really bad.
Did they do the they screw up the ending of Return of the Jedi with the music? Like they put different music.
Yeah. They got rid of the Yub Nub song.
Did they take that out in the 97 edition, or was that still in?
That was gone in 97.
Wow. Someone I know has the laser discs of the original Star Wars trilogy?
Paulie Walnuts also has Laserdiscs, so he holds on to them dearly.
Because that's like the best quality Star Wars copy you can get before they really started messing with it. Like, I'm pretty sure Han shoots first in that version.
Well, yeah. They're completely unaltered besides like sound and like visual and sound fidelity stuff.
I have the 1995 VHS release of them. Actually, I should probably transfer those to the computer so that
that is like the second best thing you can have.
What's the best?
The Laserdisc.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the thing we just talked about 2 seconds ago that I had a pot smoker moment on. What are we talking about, man? Star Wars?
Yeah, that's it, really.
By the way, this troll that works for Vice, whatever you call it, magazine, website, media, BS, wrote an article that he claimed that The Force Awakens is the worst Star Wars movie ever, and that's including the prequels. And
I guess you don't understand Star Wars.
the reason behind
good movies.
Okay, well, here's the thing. His reason behind that was he says that science fiction is about exploring the unknown, and this movie didn't do that. It isolated itself to a single universe, which isn't that true of every Star Wars movie?
Can I just like make his argument completely invalid that no one ever classified Star Wars doesn't classify itself as science fiction.
Right, it's science fantasy, if anything. Second
Right.
of all, that he just described Star Trek and pretty much no other sci-fi. Like, sci-fi doesn't have to do that. Like, sci-fi is a pretty broad genre, if you want to even call it sci-fi in this context. For devil's advocate, I'll say sure. But, like, Star Trek's the one that goes out and explores the unknown. Like, Star Wars is a story about something happening somewhere in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago, to be precise.
Yeah, I don't understand that argument. It's really dumb. It's apples and oranges. It's kind of like if you say, well, here's women, right? And someone tells you women have blonde hair, right? And then you meet a brunette woman, and you're like, well, this woman's no good because she doesn't have blonde hair.
Right.
That's exactly what that is.
And it's just I mean, clearly it was an attempt to just get people to go to his website.
Oh my god!
You know what else?
I've been having a field day with people who are talking trash about this movie.
Well, I can't help but wonder because, as some people may, or some people, I think people may know this, but it isn't common knowledge. Vice, which was this cutting edge, like we're the super awesome blah 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 website, and we tell the real news, got partially bought by Rupert Murdoch years ago. So it's basically owned by Fox News. So 20th Century Fox no longer owns Star Wars or is involved with Star Wars in any way. It's been sold to Disney. You think this is like their way of kind of jabbing at them a bit and being?
Oh, it's exactly that.
Okay, that's right.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
If you're telling me it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, yeah. It's totally just go out there and talk trash and like an argument like that doesn't make any sense is completely reaching and just trying to slander like this movie.
So I guess the takeaway from this is that Rupert Murdoch is a heel.
Well, I mean, we knew that already.
Yeah, but I know.
Like
now,
we've always known that.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
that?
That's that. Nothing of value happened on Raw this week.
Not really.
Literally,
not really, no.
Literally, no stories advanced.
None.
Nothing happened. They gave a bunch of awards out, and I'm not going to debate that the awards went to the right or wrong people or not because they were voted on, and they were voted on people that were clutching their phones during Raw.
Were all of them votes?
All of them were votes.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Huh.
And it was all pretty much. I think they gave you between the commercial break to vote, or during the commercial break, I should say. So they would say, "All right, open the app and vote." So you had essentially maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes to vote because you got a 3-minute commercial break, and in that time they have to tally or decide whoever the winner is based on whatever votes they get, and that was pretty much it.
Does that explain why Kalisto won like the moment of the year thingamajig? Because it was fresh in everyone's mind, like, oh, he just did that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that a high spot in a ladder match is a way bigger moment than, I don't know, Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank in the main event at WrestleMania that's never been done before.
Well, what do you think, Shawn Michael Spurge, Senior Analyst of Analyzation?
Oh, here I am. Hello.
Rock you like a
There you
hurricane.
are.
We had like a whole Star Wars conversation, and I was
Kinda.
just here twiddling my thumbs.
Are we going to do a Star Wars thingy after the show?
So
Is that possible?
You guys, for anybody who was like listening, and
I think it's going to find its way onto the show.
You guys probably should have like prefaced the whole conversation with, "We're not going to spoil anything." So hopefully nobody who was listening turned off to avoid spoilers of Star Wars.
You didn't spoil anything.
No, I know. Well,
He said we should have said no spoilers, but
yeah, you should have prefaced that so people didn't go, "Oh crap, Star Wars, let me turn it off."
Wrestling. I mean, NXT happened. The NXT takeover happened in London.
We have that to talk about. For sure.
But
Yeah.
Raw was basically meaningless, and Star Wars came out. So there is a possibility that there'll be a cosmic shift into the Star Wars universe out of the WWE universe during this podcast.
Well,
at which time, if that does happen, we will warn of spoilers before they might happen.
So we discussed throughout the week that we may have to discuss Star Wars at length, Episode 7. I suggested, like, maybe we should just do a separate mini special edition Doing the Job podcast, like a Star Wars edition.
We'll see how it goes.
So that way we can just flat out, like, say what we need to say, and that way anybody who hasn't seen the movie can just flat out not listen to that show, and anybody who has can enjoy that show just strictly about Star Wars.
We'll feel it out.
Okay.
I mean, the new.
It's going to be difficult for us to talk about this and not spoil stuff.
That's why.
To have a good conversation, I think we should have like a separate,
Yeah,
I just figured the afterburn we just like
but
record.
nobody listens to separate shows though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a special edition of Star Wars, more people might peep that. I feel like. But in any event, we'll see how this episode goes. So, where did you leave me? And I totally forgot.
We're talking about the Slammies and
the Slammies, yeah.
And how they were meaningless and everything was
the
stupid.
whole. So I should confess I didn't watch all of Raw. I skimmed it like dramatically. So I basically watched the segments. I didn't watch any matches.
Wait, did you skimmed it dramatically? How does one skim something dramatically?
Like
watch the Hulu version, like I do.
I watched like beyond the Hulu version. Like I was just skipping.
No, I'm saying,
whereas I usually watch
if you were like, Matt, can you get up and get me some pizza? And I would be like, oh God, my leg hurts, and now you're making me get your pizza. Like that would be me getting you pizza dramatically. But how does one skim an online video dramatically? Is what I'm asking.
Maybe I had like my hand over my mouth and like horror as I was watching because like so many bad things were happening. I don't know.
Where you're like, oh God, my carpal tunnel is acting up. How am I going to watch all of this Raw when I don't want to watch it? I just want to skim. My wrist. Fuck. All right.
Pretty dramatic.
There you go. Matt, you just booked me watching Raw dramatically. Good job. Bravo to you. Bravo.
If only Raw
and
was
the Slammy
dramatic.
Award for most dramatic Raw viewing goes to.
Yeah, my second Slammy. Woohoo!
Hey, I was the one who.
Oh, did you win any Slammies this year? There was no crowd Slammies.
I did not.
The crowd should never receive Slammies.
No, they should probably take Slammies away from the crowd.
They should, yeah. They should,
especially
like,
this crowd.
That's what they should do. So it should be like pre-K. It should be like kindergarten even. Like you start off with like stickers, and when you're bad, they take them away from you. So you start off going into the crowd. They give you
stickers away from you in kindergarten.
I never lost stickers. What are you talking about, buddy?
Never had a retracted sticker.
I guess I was the bad boy in kindergarten.
You must have been terrible. Jesus. Taking away stickers from kids.
Taking away stickers from the kids. That's not right.
Where the hell were you raised, buddy?
Well, listen, if the kids are as bad as these Raw crowds, you take all the stickers away you want.
By the way, I'm doing I don't have Mexican peps very often on the show anymore, but because it's the Christmas season, I'm having one right now because God damn it, it's delicious, and I'm treating myself.
Oh, Jesus.
Good for you. Yeah, this Raw had nothing. Like
literally,
literally had nothing.
The Slammies are the drizzling shits every year.
Here's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Is this like, has Stephanie's character evolved into what we're now seeing? Is that what this is going to, because, I mean, she's always been kind of like this calm, collected businesswoman that goes into, like, raging bitch mode. But, like, it seems like that's, like, her thing now. Like, you remember when Christian would throw the temper tantrums in, like, 2001 or 2, whenever that was? Mm-hmm. Like, is that her thing now, where I
hate this.
She goes into a tiffy, like, immediately and starts, like, hitting people? And
it's her default. Now it's her default reaction to everything. And I can't stand it.
I was amused with the Roman Reigns segment where he was like, oh, they don't want me to leave. But, like, it felt like it went on forever after a while. Like, it was kind of like, okay, we're done with this. No, I'm not going to leave.
I did think it was great that, much like how Roman just said, fuck it, and beat the shit out of everyone. Like, everyone, all the heels and Triple H, like, who cares anymore? Like, I don't even care about the repercussions because... Like, almost like I look at it meta-wise, like, yeah, you guys never, like, you know, I'm not going to go anywhere. You're not going to fire me or anything, you know?
Right.
Now it's like she's saying, hey, I'm going to put all your buddies into matches, which is dumb, by the way, because it's like, we're on a wrestling show. They're going to be in matches.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, he should have just picked up the mic and said,
yeah,
is that supposed to upset me? Because, like, Dean Ambrose is a pro wrestler, and you just booked him in a wrestling match? Why is that a punishment?
Especially
he probably
when
wants
Dean
to beat up
Ambrose's character is that like he's like a wild man, and you put him in a one-on-one steel cage match. It's like that's like a gift to Dean Ambrose,
right? Like you put a guy whose thing is that he's pretty much unafraid of anybody in a wrestling match, and he's a wrestler.
Yep. I love Roman's reaction though, and even on top of all that, she's just still yapping like it was almost desperate. Like, well, I'm gonna do this and do that. And he's just walking away, like giving pounds, giving high fives to the fans, and laughing and smiling because it's like you're just doing the same. Again, it's almost like fourth wall meta. Like you're doing the same old bullshit you always do. Whatever. I'm just gonna not care and just walk away.
Yeah.
So here's a question then, because okay, that's cool. I have a question though. So for months and months, we said that we didn't want to see Roman, smiling and laughing. We wanted to see him just go out there, drop the mic and kick somebody's ass. But in this scenario, you're saying, and I'm not throwing this at you. I'm like legitimately discussion point here.
No, I know what you're saying.
You're saying you did like it in this situation. So
because it worked.
No.
It worked here because he's laughing off the nonsense of their same old bullshit. Like,
I can clarify it. It isn't that we didn't want to see him laughing or being goofy or anything like that. It's that they were kind of he established himself as like the muscle behind the Shield, like he's the badass who's just going to beat the crap out of everybody. And then when they started trying to make him into a solo character and he wasn't going anywhere, they tried to give him this like humorous edge to him, which just wasn't him. Like it didn't feel natural. And he's going up against Brock Lesnar, which should be which kayfabe wise you should be taking utmost like seriousness. Like that's like no time to mess around. And he's doing the whole like, hey, this ain't gonna like me anyway. Suffer succotash. And so when last week when he was just like, are you gonna fire me? I don't have time for this bullshit. Like that's what we want to see. When he beat the crap out of everybody in the pay-per-view the night before, that's what we want to see. Now tonight, he's the champion. He's the one in control. Now he could be like, okay, Stephanie, all right, yeah, you're the boss.
So basically, no, okay, that's good. I think
like,
we needed.
It's more like he's being confident. He's not being like humorous. Like he wasn't like mocking her. He was just being like, well, they don't want me to leave. Why am I leaving? But
that's what I'm saying. He's laughing off her nonsense. It's kind of like a boss at work. Like I know the difference between like if a boss is really like going to get me jammed up for something I may have did wrong, than a boss just like barking at me like total nonsense that I know like it doesn't matter. Like, oh, you can't park the truck over there because blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay.
Speaking of which, I have to shoot on my boss for a second. We had a meeting a week ago. And he mentioned something, blah, 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 one of our fellow employees taking a sabbatical. And he said something like, wait a minute, it's good to do every 10 years or something like that. And I said, sabbatical is every 7 years. Like, that's where, like, the root of the words, like, sab comes from Sabbath, i.e. the seventh day. And he was like, no, pretty sure it's 10 years. And I'm like, it's 7. And he, like, fought me on it. Like, if you look up sabbatical, you'll see it's 7 years.
Yeah, like, that's a laugh off. I didn't know that either.
No, that's your word.
I just learning the job. Wow, who knew?
Yeah, here you go, everybody.
Learning the job.
We just get into like grammar and spelling like once a week now. It's great.
Yeah, this is nice.
It's great when you know like you have someone beat where it's not even like this is not an opinion thing. I'm telling you, just look it up. I'm telling you what the definition is.
Yeah,
quite literally.
My boss doesn't like me. He's kind of like Stephanie McManning me right now.
Yeah, so to anybody who wants to hear more of these boss stories, you have to listen to the Afterburn after the show if you're listening live. Like these are good stories.
But anyway, continue.
So basically, no. I just felt that statement should have been clarified since we spent so much time talking on the other end of it. But that makes sense. I think it does.
There's a big difference. Yeah, there's a big difference.
I also
and like poo-poo caca jokes and him like Matt said confidently like laughing it off like fuck you. What are you gonna do?
And I also liked when he threw Dean Ambrose the chair in the steel cage match and he just started wailing on Sheamus and it was like oh yeah he's pretty dangerous also. And what I hated though. He beats the crap out of Sheamus, does his DDT finisher on a chair, starts climbing the cage, and this guy just runs up the cage. Like, he should be out. He should be unconscious.
Dead. Yeah, exactly. As dead as can be.
That was that annoying. And essentially, he needed help to win the match at that point. Like, or, he needed, like, a distraction of some kind, and then they did that kind of like that F finish where Sheamus hits him so hard that he falls off the cage, and that's why he wins. I didn't like that finish. Like he should have just knocked Sheamus out. That should have been it.
Like, if there was ever a time, and I've been on record saying I hate the fact that there's pin and submission in a cage match, and I understand the reasons why with the referee in there.
Yeah.
But if there was ever a time to be able to just pin a guy, you just did your finishing move on a chair, like just roll over and pin him,
or go out the door. Like,
or go out the door,
You ever watched in a bunch of old, like, this is like one thing you got to give Hulk Hogan in a lot of his older cage matches, or his cage matches, because all his matches are older at this point. He would just go out the door. He'd call for the door to be open. He'd walk out the door. And it was like that's the greatest thing ever.
Smart.
I mean, like, there's a door. Why wouldn't I walk out the door?
Yeah.
I noticed a couple of things about this match. Number one, that Sheamus popped right up and ran up the cage. It was stupid. I also noticed that when he was setting up Dirty Deeds, the entire crowd yelled Dirty Deeds, which I've never heard before.
I've also, speaking of like things that get yelled in Finisher, have you noticed lately that JBL yells "ball game" every time?
It's every single match.
Yeah.
I started noticing it specifically when Owens does the pop-up powerbomb.
Yep. No,
And
you're
even Byron
right.
said it in
And
the replay.
Yeah, he even said, as you just said, ball game.
Oh, okay.
So he quoted him saying it.
Okay.
It's a little too much.
Like, listen, I'm not going to get on anybody for using crutch phrases. We've had this conversation, but like that, JBL is like the king of having crutch phrases
Yeah.
on.
Well, the other thing that people have started to notice now is that anytime Byron says
Sends well.
what.
This does not end well.
No, anytime Byron says that he either likes something, or, JBL will say something to him like, "Oh, you would, Byron." Like that's become like a thing. Like you would. Like it's always like you would.
Hey, JBL, I really like you. Oh, you would, Byron.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what was cool in this match too, and this really should have been a nugget, but how when Reigns was scaling the cage with like the chair on his arm, and he decided to just throw it into the ring, how it just somehow landed perfectly like in the seated position.
Yes.
Like that was pretty awesome.
That happens to me sometimes. I'll drop a bottle of water on the floor and it'll land like standing up.
Don't you feel like such an awesome person
Yes,
at that point?
yes.
They're like, I am the greatest human being. This is amazing.
You're like,
Well, not if you dropped it, then it's just like luck.
But if it lands
I mean,
purposely-
I don't mean like you drop it and you're like, whoops, I dropped it. I mean like you just like drop it on the floor and you figure like, all right, like probably just land on its side, and then it just somehow stands up and you're like, oh, look at that.
Yep.
Follow that.
The other thing I noticed about this match was that in the early goings, because Dean went into the match already kind of hurt because he got a brogue kick, I guess, before the match began, and so Sheamus had an advantage early on and kind of had the upper hand for a little while. And rather than people waiting it out for the comeback, which the match ended up being pretty good, they just chanted, "This is boring."
Yeah,
Not boring. They chanted, "This is boring."
The crowd turned on the match very easily.
Yeah, it's
I didn't see that.
so stupid. That's when I texted you guys that.
What have I?
crowd sucks.
So, as a person who has generally hated crowds, lately in the past year or so, would I have hated that in that context?
I'm telling you what
absolutely.
happened. Do you
Absolutely.
hate it?
I mean, in context of what you're saying, I suppose I would have. Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
There's a wrestling match where the story is that the good guy got injured early on, so the heel has the upper hand for a while in a beatdown. You're building the suspense to a comeback, and within a minute, people chanted, "This is boring."
Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say. I guess the only other main thing that happened on Raw before I want to get into a different topic is, the very end of Raw as Reigns and Ambrose are, going back up the ramp. They cut back to Tom Phillips asking Stephanie what her reaction was, and she just does the thing she did the week before to Roman Reigns and slaps the bejesus out of Tom Phillips. So that much more, kayfabe wise, obviously serious situation than slapping Roman Reigns. Do you think? Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that for buy or sell.
Okay.
I'm watching this and I'm just like, I'm getting really sick. I said I'm getting really sick of the WWE, specifically this authority stuff, because I'm really tired of watching stuff and I'm just like, okay, he's just an announcer. He's just a regular employee of this company, even kayfabe wise, right? So the boss just slaps the shit out of him, which is battery. How is not a lawsuit? This is just okay.
Well, also, just
I'm just so. I know it's wrestling, but I'm just so sick of this crap.
Here's the thing, though. If you cut back to a year and a half ago, they did that storyline with her and Brie. Remember when she got arrested for slapping?
yes.
Yeah.
So this has happened before. So it's not like she hasn't had something happen to her due to the slapping. But it would be weird to have the same thing happen again.
Just don't do this stuff.
Yeah, it's.
But also, what?
Done with this stuff.
do it.
At this point, what's the authority isn't even really a thing anymore. If you think about it, you have it used to be, it was Shane and Triple H, or Shane and Triple H. Wow.
Jesus Christ, man.
Where the hell did I just go?
What year
Randy
were we in?
Orton.
Yeah, it was Steph. It was Steph and Triple H, and then you had Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, J&J Security. Big Show jumped in there. The director of operations, Kane, was there. And that's all dwindled away at this
They're
point.
still the authority. They just don't have a stable.
Well, yeah. Now it's literally just it's Triple H and Stephanie. You could say Sheamus was kind of their guy, but he's really in the League of Nations.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
now you have Stephanie every week coming out and saying, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw."
By the way, I do. We chatted about this earlier, but not in the show though. So I want to bring it to light on the show just because it's a ha 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 moment. Last week I was complaining about dirt sheets and how they had a story that ran hours before Raw that said Tommy Dreamer done with WWE television. And explained how that was it. He just won that one night. It's over with. And then
he was on that night and last week.
And you guys played devil's advocate, and you said no, that probably just meant after that night he's no longer.
Did I play devil's advocate today?
I did.
I don't remember that I did. I don't think I did.
Because it was TLC, and then I saw it on Monday night saying, "Oh yeah, he's done them," but he still came out that night. I'm thinking, oh, maybe it meant after that one, he was just following up the angle, right? But then he was on last week.
He was on. It was on last night
this week
again. Yeah.
So the
sheets of the word. You never trust anything.
I gave it a benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't know.
So nothing else actually important happened on Raw. So this was the Slammy edition of Monday Night Raw. Why don't we
talk about the winners? Why
don't we do a quick DTJ Slammy Awards?
Well, you want to talk about their winners?
We'll talk. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll go side by side with the winners that happened. The winners that were crowned on Monday Night Raw. And we'll go with our own things, and we can slam about how bad they were.
Okay. By the way, I just want to add. I've been talking about how quite possibly my favorite match of the year all year has been that the second the really long Cesaro Cena U.S. title match, and that actually won a Slammy on the pre-show. I read for the best of the U.S. Opens of the year.
Oh, that was an actual award.
Yep.
Wow.
That was an award for the best John Cena U.S. Open match, and it was that one.
That's pretty cool then.
Yep,
I'm with it.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the televised ones.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to go in order of what they.
You have this prepared? Look at you.
I tried to write some stuff down as I was dramatically.
Dramatically wrote stuff down.
Oh, geez, Carpal Tunnel, help me.
Yeah, skimming through this. So they did Breakout Star, and Neville was the one that won.
No, Kevin Owens. Should have been Kevin Owens.
Not terrible, but the obvious winner should have been Kevin Owens.
To the point where they just had Kevin Owens come out and make the speech anyway.
Look, I feel like the story was already there for him and Ziggler to happen, for the speech, and they figured, okay, if anybody else wins, you're just going to interrupt that person.
Yep.
And then,
by the way, did you notice how many people were not there?
Oh, I noticed. That was going to be something I brought up. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Nobody was there.
Right. All right. So
half the roster's injured. So, and to the point where Neville was given the speech, Kevin Owens comes out, and Owens starts chiding him, and he literally just goes, "Whatever, Kevin," and he just walks away. There was no. Right,
he just bitched him out. He was like, "Get out of here!" And he was like, "Fine." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. So that was weird, but obviously that was set up. So clearly in agreement, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
So they did that. The OMG moment of the year, I guess, which would be the holy shit moment of the year.
Oh yeah, in agreement, Kevin Owens. Yes, I also agree.
Right.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing right now?
I'm not doing anything.
You just jumped in
No, he moved on from that. I didn't even say yes. I also agree. The Kevin Owens. I didn't get a chance to say anything.
Put your phone down.
I'm not looking at my phone. I'm looking at anything.
Heard of me.
Then he doesn't watch wrestling. Be quiet. Facebook. I'm just bringing up random shit. Oh, man. Okay, so the OMG moment of the year was Kalisto's Selena Del Sol off the ladder onto the other ladder from TLC. Selena?
Yeah,
Selena
Gomez.
I said Selena.
Did I? Okay. What is it?
It's a D. Selena.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I
don't the exit of the sun, right?
I looked that up on Facebook.
Is it just me, or does it always sound like they're saying with an N instead of a D then?
No, it says Selena.
Selena.
Okay. I guess I've just been hearing incorrectly. Fair enough. Anyway,
Selena was a Jennifer Lopez singer that she played in the movie.
Yeah. Bitty Bitty Bamba. Garbage Day.
Anyway. That would have been a really weird way for her to die.
No, that would have been the only way to die.
She did get garbage day. She got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any event, he won for OMG moment of the year, the holy shit moment of the year. I would have liked for that. What else was in? I don't even remember what the hell was in the running of this.
I remember something else was like, oh, that should win. But I don't-
Seth Rollins cashing in the
Yes.
Money in the Bank
Yes,
in the
that's
main
the
event at
one.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, that
Was
should,
that actually like in the category?
yes,
'Cause I forgot.
yes, that was in the
Then
category.
that's the obvious winner.
Clearly, yes.
Oh yeah, I wrote that on my
Yeah,
sheet here.
That's
Yeah,
just the
Rollins.
straight up moment of 2015 for the WWE period.
Yeah. But
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
but
so we're all
no,
in
it
agreement
was
with
the Salida del Sol from a week ago.
that. Salida del Sol. Got it.
Yep.
So on a less serious note, the LOL moment of the year. So here's what was interesting to me. As they're running this down, I'm like, it's obviously New Day. Like the New Day's entire year is the LOL moment of the year.
I don't think so.
But that R-Truth thing was effing hilarious.
That was the legit most hilarious. I mean, like New Day is funny every single week, but like to pick a one standout thing, like I think that
What was it
deserving.
again? I'm blanking on it.
It was deserving. Yeah, it was what on the R-Truth thing.
Yeah, what was the R2 thing again?
So that was the one where they were going to be at Money in the Bank, and Kane was. They were all in the ring,
And he
and
was
then
like-
R-Truth just randomly comes out. He's like, "Oh, this Sunday," and they're like, "You're not even in a match." And he's like, "Oh crap, that's my bad."
He's like, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
This one's on me. My
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that's
That
what he
should've
said.
won
This
you.
one's
He
on. me.
sounded a lot like Steve Harvey, actually.
And then,
And they did the
So-
same thing.
very wisely, so R-Truth comes out later to announce we'll go into Diva of the Year, and Paige ends up winning. And then, of course, they do the Steve Harvey thing from the Miss Universe, where R-Truth's like, "Oh, wait a minute, actually, you're the runner-up. Never mind." So it was a pretty funny gimmick they did. And Nikki Bella won Diva of the Year. So this one, kayfabe-wise, Nikki Bella is Diva of the Year.
I mean, you could say it's Diva or Paige, really.
Nikki, again, kayfabe-wise, Nikki was the champion, like,
She was champion, but also Paige was, in a lot of the main stuff, had a lot of good matches, and she's also been champion this year.
okay, so now let's turn this around because they put Sasha Banks in as one of the nominees.
Right.
And if you're going to go, pretty much every category was strictly WWE, meaning,
Right.
not NXT.
Right.
If you're going to go from that, Sasha shouldn't have been nominated at all.
Shouldn't have been. Yeah, she's
But-
hardly had any matches on the main roster.
But if you watched her highlight package, like, when they're running down the nominees, they mention, like, NXT champion. They show her there, like, for a few moments. So that was kind of thrown in. And if that's the case, Nikki, from a kayfabe standpoint, probably still is Diva of the Year. But I think we all would probably agree, in reality, Sasha was the Diva of the Year.
I mean, at the same time, like, they had Breakout Star of the Year, and they put Tyler Breeze on there, and he's had how many main roster matches?
Right.
It was just nonsense.
Denny, what do you say?
Sasha Banks is my women's wrestler of the year.
Women's Wrestler of the Year. So if you were going to go Diva of the Year,
None. like main roster, like because that's what divas are. They're just
all right, fair enough. Fair
no
enough.
one.
And going back to Breakout Star, I'm glad you mentioned that. So if we were to throw NXT into here, it would be really hard not to pick Bayley.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wow,
But-
no analysis.
But I pick Sasha.
I'm saying if we were going to do Breakout Star, oh, you're saying for
Yeah,
Breakout Star
Right now,
also.
I wouldn't say she's. I mean, like she was been good for a while.
If we're going to pile people in that, yeah.
Yeah, like
she didn't just
elevated
kind of
to-
like show up. you know.
Well, I know, but I mean, okay. Well, I think people understand what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but like she was already that good, already that recognized. Like even last year, before like she just happened to win the title this year.
Yeah, I guess we're interpreting that a little differently. Okay, fair enough.
No,
fair
but
enough.
I get what you're saying completely. I am just.
Know what I'm
looking
cooking. Okay. So then we had that this is awesome moment of the year, and The Rock and Ronda Rousey won for their thing at WrestleMania.
What else was nominated for that?
So the one that I don't really find any winner out of their nominees, but they had the RKO at WrestleMania when Seth Rollins went for the curb stomp and
That-
flew like 1,000 feet in the air and got
better.
RKO'd.
That was better than Ronda Rousey and The Rock.
So I would have chosen that.
This is a silly,
But it's a
silly
silly-
category because it's like awesome moment and OMG shocking moment. Like, what are you splitting hairs? You know what I mean? Like, what's really like what makes something awesome or shocking?
They're like the same thing, yeah. We had. Oh, I didn't write this
Why
one down.
I say moment, like the one moment if I can pick is the cash in. So
I didn't write this one down, but I remember they also did comeback of the year on Raw, and it's slipping my mind who won that category.
Sting.
Sting won, right.
I'm okay with that.
I know you. Who? Wait, Matt, who won?
It was a surprise return of the year.
Wait. Sean asked me a question. Sean, ask it again.
Matt, who won Return of the Year?
Sting!
There you go.
Return of the year, which I should have got a point for, is Zack Ryder in a Royal Rumble.
Oh my God, we're still on this.
He's lying.
Oh lordy lord.
Who would I pick? Like return? I don't know. Who returned this year? What were the other nominees?
Del Rio.
No.
Kane.
Hey, wait. Did Sheamus was Sheamus on that list?
No.
Because he came back this year.
No, he wasn't on the list.
He wasn't on the list, but that's actually a good call. He did return.
And he had a new look. And then he,
with a new look.
And then he
That's
went on
like
to
the
become
definition.
WWE champion.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if Kane's on that list, then how is Sheamus
There was another one that was like the Avio, but I already forgot the nominees.
Yeah, so I guess it's not obvious enough.
Guess it's not.
So, I think during the pre-show, I wanted to mention at least one of them. They announced Tag Team of the Year. I'm only saying this because New Day mentioned it in their promo on Raw, and like there's no more clear-cut winner for Tag Team of the Year than New Day, but the fans voted for the Usos.
Yeah, I don't even think I got to tell you what.
We don't even have to cover this one. This is just beyond obvious.
That's they own this year. Period. Like that's it.
Right. Okay. So the main two, Superstar of the Year. Seth Rollins won, and I think that there was a definitive 3 or 4 nominees, but I feel like Seth Rollins should have won.
I think everyone's okay with Seth Rollins when he was the champion for most of a good chunk of the year.
He won the vote.
He had like the best matches.
Yeah, I was surprised that the fans got this one right because you should never let the fans vote on anything ever.
I think that
in any aspect of life.
I think that John Cena probably had the most good matches out of anyone, like consistently all year round, because he had the U.S. Open Challenge and he was having phenomenal matches, the best match on Raw like every single week. But I would have to give it to Rollins just because this is one of my favorite guys, and he became a top guy this year, and he held the title most of the year. And he was heavily featured every week on Raw, and he is and John Cena has been recognized forever, so he is the superstar of the year.
Right, exactly. And when you think about 2015, you'll think of Seth Rollins, and then shortly after that, you'll think of John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge. So to me, like Seth Rollins was probably like A+. John Cena was an A, and call me biased, but I think it's been confirmed. Like Roman Reigns was the A-. Like they were all kind of in that category for what they've done this year. But I think this was Seth Rollins' year. And I'm going to say that the fourth one, just because they lumped them together in that Superstar of the Year package, the New Day. I know it's not a superstar, but they did lump them together, so I'm going to count it here. And if there was a fourth, they'd have to be at least in the discussion.
A fourth? Wait, who's third? Who do we miss?
I said Roman Reigns.
Oh, Roman?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's me being biased. I think that he's definitely in
Lesnar.
Now, what about
the guy who had how many matches did Lesnar have this year?
What all better than Roman Reigns?
You're crazy.
What about that?
We'll get to that discussion in a second, by the way.
What about the hero that a hero lies in you, Mariah Carey award?
The John Cena award.
Did you think that should have gone to John Cena?
It was
the John Cena award for the best John Cena of the year.
Yeah, I feel like John Cena should have been that should have been literally the John Cena award and awarded to another superstar. I feel like it probably should have been Titus O'Neil.
We never had that award before. I think
they do that all the time though. Like they remember they had the best disappointed fan award or something like that, and it was Ms. Girl. They engineer an award to give to a specific person.
Yeah, well,
I do agree with what you're saying. There should be a John Cena award. I think, in fact, I think that once he retires, whenever that may be, they'll actually rename that to the John Cena award, should they continue that.
Robbery.
Yeah. And before we get to Match of the Year, are there any other categories you guys wanted to go over?
Nope.
Denny?
No.
All right.
Nothing else really matters.
So let's get to it. Match of the Year. A topic we've discussed throughout the year, of course. Mm-hmm. So we had on the card here for nominations, we had the triple threat between Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, a match we've talked about at length as a candidate.
Yeah.
We had John Cena versus Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber, the Kevin Owens debut match, which he won.
Yeah.
We had the Fatal 4-Way recently on Raw between Reigns, Owens, Ziggler, and Del Rio to announce the number one contender, which was a really good match, but I don't think I'd put it in that class with the others.
I would not.
Did we have do we have 5 matches or just the 4?
I forget.
Because the one that won was The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell in the Hell in a Cell match.
And it shouldn't have.
And it, to me, people called me crazy at the time.
Crazy.
They disagree with me. I'm offended that this was even on the list. Because, again, I know I got disagreed with. To me, it wasn't the best match of the night. It wasn't even the best Hell in a Cell match.
I'm gonna shut down your argument in like 2 seconds.
You can't do that. You'll be wrong.
I can. Yeah, I can.
Go ahead. Shut it down.
No, I think. Well, you're just wrong because
Please tell me.
I can completely not like the match. Right? I think the match was okay. I don't really care. I'll probably never watch that match again. I'll never think about it again. It doesn't really matter to me. But you can't be offended this was on the list simply because this is WWE, and in their world, in their bubble, in their kayfabe world, that was one of their biggest and best matches of the year, whether you liked it or not. Do you understand?
It was one of their biggest matches of the year. It wasn't one of the best.
Right, but so to WWE, that means best.
Okay, I'm not okay.
It's gonna be in their top matches when it comes to awarding what one of the best matches was of the year.
Okay, in the sense of we're going over a WWE nominated list, I'm not offended over that. So I'll concede that to you. Mm-hmm. In the sense of if we were to come up with a list, let me reword it. I would be offended if that was on the list.
Right, but the WWE came up with this list, so
fair enough. Fair, I'll concede that to you. But I'm not conceding the fact that this was match of the year or even close to it.
What?
No, I don't think it was.
You need to blame that on the fans.
I think that was like that award was like so typical fan service. It's not even funny.
I don't think all of these were voted on. I thought it was just Superstar of the Year.
No, they were
all voted on.
I think Superstar of the Year.
They literally told you how to vote. Like,
I think there was Superstar and a handful of other categories that weren't aired on television. I think voting was wide open, and they let you like tweet at them like who you wanted to win, and Superstars were able to campaign for like a week or two to win. Like I think Damian Sandow might have won an award of some kind, for example.
Yeah,
it was non-televised.
Sandow won for Double Cross of the Year,
right?
As Damian Mizdow on the Miz,
right?
I'm going to say something that's going to be very offensive and pious as a wrestling fan, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't care. If you thought in your heart of hearts that Undertaker and Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell was match of the year, you're watching wrestling wrong. I'm just going to say it.
You said it.
I said it. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's a pretty penisy thing to say and a really douchey thing to say.
It's pretty terrible. It's like
it's a really douchey thing to say.
I'm not trying to get behind. That's the kind of shit other people say on different shows.
I know
that I despise because it's kind of like it's like the guy who was whining and crying that like Cena won the title. It's kind of like, well, you know, some people probably thought that was great, and gotta understand that. And some people probably loved that match and thought it was the biggest deal. Maybe like a 15-year-old thought that like that was like the hugest deal that those two guys had a Hell in a Cell match, and it was amazing. So it's kind of like they're not watching wrestling wrong. They just don't. They're not watching it the way you do.
Yeah,
wrong. No, I'm kidding. No, it's a really douchey thing to say, but
as long as you can admit it.
But unlike the other people who would say something like that, I admit it. I'm admitting it. I'm well aware it's a douchey thing to say.
Although,
and it's just my opinion.
Completely on the opposite side, though, of that, and blaming WWE for doing something stupidly, I was thinking about Fandango the other day, mostly because I bought tickets on the website. And think about this. So this is an era where like really over the top gimmicks usually just fail, right?
Yes.
Specifically Fandango and Adam Rose.
I'm getting to that. So typically, like if you make a character kind of not believable, like you would say, how does this person would never exist in real life? This is stupid. The gimmick's just going to fail, and WWE seems to have a problem like realizing this, and seemed like they learned this in the Attitude Era, and then they just went full throttle back into what they did in like the 80s and 90s, the early 90s. But just by some fluke of chance, the Fandango thing ended up working. Like, it just worked. The crowd almost was like, you know what? We'll buy this. Screw it. It's fun. And then they buried the freaking guy. What sense does that make?
But we've talked about this a lot. You know,
I don't think we have.
No, we did. We talked about the fact that it was so over, and then WWE was like,
We've talked about the fact that
hey, do
we've
the
talked
Fandango,
about
do the
that,
Fandango.
but stepping back and looking at the bigger picture,
And people got
you gave him a stupid gimmick that's totally not believable and completely surreal, and people were like, "Yeah, okay, you know what? We'll just go with it. Fine."
I'm with you, but I don't know what this has to do with match of the year.
I'm just saying, like, you know, we're blaming the fans for being stupid and liking matches that they shouldn't like, but just based on my random thought the other day about Fandango and going the other way, it's like WWE is completely fallible as well.
I'm not blaming fans from.
So I guess what we're trying to say here is that WWE is wrong and the fans are wrong, and just like everybody except us is wrong.
I'm
not saying that.
That should be on our open, actually.
I mean, I'm
I think
off
that's
the
the title
record,
of this
I'd
week's
say
show:
that.
is everybody except us are wrong.
I like it.
I don't.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm just realizing something. So we're having this conversation, and Denny Luggs is the one who's like, "Nah, I'm not going to chide the fans for doing something." Like, what? You're the biggest heel on the show.
Because you can like whatever you want to like.
No, you must like what I like. Be quiet.
If you
I'm clearly
if you like something that's like clearly not within reason, like if you like the prequels, you know what I mean, the Star Wars prequels, then you are wrong. Like,
But like, I like Vegemite. Would you say that I'm wrong for that?
No, yeah, but then again, I'm contradicting myself because, like, you know, Vegemite, some people might taste like shit, but you might like it.
I like Vegemite. Like Vegemite and a grilled cheese sandwich is really good.
I never had it, so I can't tell you. I'll probably like it because I like weird shit. So,
oh yeah, next time you're over,
I like an Emmamite sandwich.
I would love to try Vegemite.
You like a what sandwich, Sean?
An Emmamite sandwich.
I see what you did there. No wait, she calls her fans Emmamites, right?
No, didn't she call that little the corner move she did?
It's the Emmamite sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. As you would say, I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah.
No, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't like something.
I won't
if you
get
like
you
it,
wrong.
By all means, like it. I'm just saying you're
Yeah,
wrong.
like you're wrong for liking it. Like the same way you'd be wrong for like wanting to commit a crime. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. We can't stop you, but we can judge you for being wrong.
Yes, and this winning match of the year was criminal. Damn it, criminal. So, being serious though for a second, what would be your match of the year? Denny, we'll start with you.
Can we count NXT?
Let's do both. Let's count WWE and then we'll count overall.
Okay.
Or WWE. Well, how about we just say WWE and NXT like separately?
That's what he just said. We'll do both.
No, he said WWE and then overall. That's different from what
I was assuming that you guys were going to bring up an NXT match.
One should supersede the other.
Okay, WWE match, main roster match. What do you got, Denny?
The triple threat match at the Royal Rumble might be the best. I'm conflicted with it. I'm thinking that's the best match of the year, while I feel like the match I enjoyed the most was John Cena and Cesaro on Raw. So that might be my favorite match of the year, but I'm just going to give it to the triple threat at the Rumble as the match of the year for WWE.
That works. Matt, what you got?
I'd go with Cena and Owens, the first match they had.
That's my pick, yeah.
And
really, that's both of your guys' pick?
And now NXT, and this would also be match of the year period, would be Bayley and Sasha Banks, the first one at TakeOver. Or not, yeah, TakeOver that we were at.
I also agree.
Yeah, there we go, done.
If we included NXT, Denny, what say you?
The NXT match of the year, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
Really?
That just took place in London, with number 2 being Bayley and Sasha.
Which
with number 2 being both number 2 tied for number 2 is both Bayley and Sasha, because I don't really like one or the other more than the other. Like, I just love them both.
Okay. Now, so you put that at number 1. Now, would you say that Joe and Balor that just happened was that better to you than your match of the year, the triple threat at the Rumble? So what's your over-encompassing WWE match?
Probably the Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. Those are the DTJ Slammy Awards for 2015.
So NXT TakeOver happened.
Yeah, that's another major topic. Let's get into it.
Okay, I'm not surprised by your Sasha and Bayley. That's awesome, but I'm very surprised that you guys picked Cena and Owens.
Why? Why is that a surprise?
I think the match was great. I don't know. It's
a great match. I agree.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it better than some other matches.
You don't.
I think. Are we watching wrestling wrong, Denny?
No. I would never say a douchey thing like that. I didn't say you're wrong. I didn't say you guys are dumb.
The show is so stupid.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. I don't know. What are we doing? hell's going on here?
I think that if Kevin Owens didn't win that match, it wouldn't be a match of the year. I think.
Perhaps,
I'm just saying.
But that was. But no, you might be right, but that was part of it because he did win, and that was to me.
That's
part of
fine.
it.
That's part of the
I
match.
think a major thing that I really liked about that match, aside from just like work rate and the whole deal, was the fact of how much we wanted that match to be really good, and how good it was. Like how fun was it to watch that match in the moment and being like, holy crap, Kevin Owens is here, he's doing it against John Cena,
And then he wins.
This is like that to me. It was like not even just the match itself; it was like everything that came with it.
I wanted to hear that everything that goes with it, and there you go. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with your answer.
Thank you. NXT Takeover in London. Thoughts?
I very much enjoyed this show. I probably gonna put this as my personal favorite takeover thus far. As I mentioned in the Facebook group.
Yeah, you loved it.
It was pretty good.
I really enjoyed the show.
I don't know if it was my favorite. It was definitely good, though. I think it was better than the last one. I would definitely say that the last one was my least favorite.
The last one was the.
I wouldn't say
the last one again?
You said respect's your least favorite. Really?
Pretty sure the last one was my least favorite. Yeah.
With Sasha and Bayley main event, that's your least favorite of all. I think there's been some worse ones.
I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know.
Like Unstoppable or like Fatal 4-Way. They've both been worse, I think.
I don't remember anymore. It's all started. I'm getting too old, and it's all starting to lump together.
It's hard for me to remember because I feel like they were all good. I can't remember a bad one.
Which was the one with Hulk Hogan in it?
No.
Oh, jeez. Why am I watching?
Well, Apollo Crews is there, so I mean, he can't.
Oh, man.
I like Takeover. I like to Takeover a lot too. I thought that every match was really solid. The match that I want to talk about first, though, Bayley and Nia Jax, they delivered.
They completely exceeded my expectations, and what a great storytelling match! I really
they exceeded
enjoyed
my
it.
expectations too, which were very low because
Very low.
Mostly
Well, that's
because
why I wanted to bring this up first, because I think we all had low expectations for Nia Jax because of what she's shown, and she's really green. And the two of them worked really well together, and like you said, Denny, just storytelling perfection.
I love the finish, and I love the finish too.
Yeah,
Just the whole thing was great. I think what made this show like really my favorite as a total package, maybe not any single match might have been better than some other, big matches on some other takeovers. I mean, I think, the main event was the NXT match of the year, in my opinion, maybe because it's so fresh. But every match had a story going into it. They each had a video package, and each match
that's NXT in general.
Story too, huh?
That's NXT in general. Like that's what we've been saying for
right, but
a while
not
now.
every show. Some shows. This show had 5 matches. Other shows are usually 6, and there might be 1 or 2 matches that are just there and don't have a complete story going into it, like all these matches did, for the most part. And then not only did each match have a story going into it, each match told a good story in the ring, whether it be small or a lot, like the Nia Jax and Bayley.
I was unhappy that Samoa Joe lost.
Me too. I put him on to win, but it was still a great match.
Yeah. Guess who thought that Balor was going to retain?
Oh yeah, how many?
Was that you,
points
Sean?
Two thumbs pointing at this guy right here.
How many buy or sell points? Oh yeah, you don't get points because you don't play.
Now that's
in imaginary buy or sell, I'm like 300-0 right now. You guys are still know it.
Imaginary buy or sell. Yeah.
Hypothetical buy or sell. I'm undefeated.
In imaginary life, I'm married to friggin' Mila Kunis, and I'm a millionaire. So.
Yeah.
I want to play imaginary life. That sounds like fun.
I would take either. I would take.
Great.
You know what's funny? I would take either of those scenarios in my imaginary life, and you took both of them.
What was the second one? You said Mila Kunis and what?
And he's a millionaire.
Millionaire.
But like,
okay.
I would just take millionaire. Or I would just take Mila Kunis.
See, I wasn't greedy.
I feel like I would definitely take Mila Kunis because millionaire is at least like doable. Like you can find a way to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Mila Kunis, that's just not.
Yeah,
happening.
but I'm lazy.
I mean, you could marry Mila Kunis and then be like, well, I have half her money now.
Yeah, I mean, she probably want a prenup because I mean, I'm a paramedic and she has millions.
Yeah, but you get like good medical benefits. Like she probably doesn't have those. She's probably like a 1099.
Yeah, but she can. I have good benefits and I don't have to pay for them.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, but as a freelance actress, she's probably like got to join some union. She's probably paying like $800 or $900 a month.
She's in SAG.
All right. Well, what kind of what kind of insurance do they get in SAG?
I don't know. Google it, motherfucker. I don't know.
Let's find this out.
Google the medical benefits of SAG. What kind of friggin' tangent have we got?
Here's the thing, though. I think that even if Denny, if you have a heart attack and you need whatever, or you break a leg or whatever you need, I think she has enough money where she can cover it.
Did you really just it's funny that you said heart attack and break a leg, because the first one is kind of like my job of dealing heart attacks, and her job of acting break a leg is like a phrase. So that was funny.
Yeah, I definitely
that you did that.
I'm so smart. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a freaking genius.
Genius, yeah.
So the opener of Takeover exceeded my expectations too. I think that's what a lot of things about this show. It was kind of like okay on paper. Then I almost called it Kana. Asuka and Emma was awesome and exceeded my expectations. And even the tag team title match, Enzo and Cass versus the Brainbusters or the Andersons or whatever they're called, that was like really, really good and exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Wow, can this be right? It's about like between 275 and 415 quarterly.
What?
The health insurance for Screen Actors Guild.
Okay.
Over under. The Screen Actors Guild's insurance is, we're gonna say 300.
Like there's different tiers of plans apparently. Like it looks like plan 2, which is like a premium plan, is 414.
Well done.
So that's like 12 about 1,200. Not 1,200. 1,600 a year. But she'd pay a lot less if she was married to somebody with who's an EMT.
You know who doesn't get health benefits? Professional wrestlers.
Yeah, John Cena. I was going to say.
Yeah, his name is John Cena.
Also would have been acceptable. Yeah.
I'm sure
that was my
way
way
to
of
afford good insurance.
Yeah, that was my way of crappy segueing back to NXT.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
So,
You talk about Enzo and Cass and the match, tag match. That was really good. And what about Corbin and Apollo Crews?
Probably the weakest match on the show, but still was you could watch it, and I like the finish was pretty exciting and shocking. Actually, I didn't think Corbin was going to win this match.
Clean as you would say, clean as a sheet, right in the middle of the ring.
Clean as a sheet, right?
Finisher and 1, 2, 3.
And I think that I thought they were going to keep Apollo Crews pretty unstoppable for a while, but this just tells me that Corbin will probably get a match for the title next because he beat the other big contender,
Yeah, that was my other prediction. Is either Corbin moves up to the main roster, or his next thing is either moving up to the main roster or getting a title match with Balor. So looks like that's going to happen.
So you thought they were going to make Apollo look strong?
Yeah.
That's Apollo's first. That's Apollo's first pin or submission, right?
That's his first loss, I think. Period.
First, yeah. Well, he had technically won by disqualification, right? He didn't win the title. So,
that match was thrown out. So,
yeah. And then, as you said before, Balor and Joe was your match of the year. It was really, really good. It was stiff. It was great.
It was
pro wrestling.
Very good pro wrestling.
Yeah, the crowd even chanted, "This is wrestling" at some point.
Yeah, they're so smart, right?
Strong style. Yeah. I know, because we were confused. I thought it was theater. I thought it was ballet, but they informed me that it was wrestling. Right. And I was like, "Oh yeah,
that's what happened to me." I put it on, and I was like, "Wow, this is pod racing."
this is pod.
Oh God, no!
I actually thought it was soccer because of all the chants.
And then all of a sudden, we got this is wrestling, and I was like, "Wait."
Did you notice? One of the X-wing pilots in the Resistance was the same race as Sebulba from the pod racing in episode 1.
I did not,
and he looked very aged.
But you're spoiling.
It's not a spoiler.
I didn't even know the guy was in the movie.
Anything that gives away anything can happen in the movie is a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
It's going a slippery slope, my friend.
It's not a spoiler. So he looked aged. So maybe it was him. Maybe it was Sebulba from Tatooine.
It's all or nothing.
He is a pilot.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
all right.
We can't just be like, oh, remember that thing that happened? No, that's it. No, that's it. No, don't do it.
Over.
All right, all or nothing. I get it. It's it's not a plot spoiler.
what was awesome was
New
Finn
Day?
Balor's entrance.
They're going to say New Day, like almost fake spoiling the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Finn Balor's Jack the Ripper entrance.
Yes.
So, and what was cool about this wasn't just the entrance itself. It was the fact that, they played those little, not vignettes, but like the commercials for NXT TakeOver London leading up to the show had that, because it was London. They had a little Jack the Ripper feel. They did the graphic. And then in the show, they did the graphic again. And then we realized that was actually all for Finn Balor's entrance.
Right.
And he came out. So it was like that was on his Titantron. And then the slash and the blood on the screen, and then he just was Jack the Ripper coming down the ring.
He walks out, and he's a baby face, but he kills a hooker.
Yeah,
Oh man, look at all these dead hookers.
I've never seen so many dead hookers.
Never seen so many. All right. What about Sean? This was a controversial topic for you because
Dead hookers.
Dead hookers, and it seems
Get your money back.
And their name is Dead Hookers. Da, 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 da.
It seems as
That's
though
where we hear the Godfather's music. What are you talking about?
we differ on the fact of the crowd singing.
So it seemed that I was in the unpopular opinion camp of this because a lot of people.
So people seem to like it.
Yeah, I've been very harsh on pro wrestling crowds.
Me too.
But I was totally with the singing for a while. I thought they were really creative. I thought some of them were pretty funny. And then I felt they went on and on and on. And they didn't stay creative. They just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And to me, and here's where we got controversial, was I thought that they didn't react properly. They didn't stop singing to react to the match, and you felt otherwise.
I see, once it started going on and on, that was my first kind of reaction, thinking like, oh man, are they really going to do this and not pay attention? And believe me, I've been all over fans' cases lately. I did not once notice it, you know what I mean? I always noticed them stop and react. There wasn't a moment where I said, oh, come on, guys.
See, I wrote it down in my notes on several occasions where I was just like, you should really be stopping and reacting to this match right here. Like for example, like late in the tag team match, and Cass is down, and for like the 700th time which was funny the first few times, but they're changing the lyrics from Hey Jude to Big Cass. And it's like, he's down in the match, he needs like to fire up, and they're still singing, and it's like, okay. And I understand people are going to say, oh, well, it's London, they're a soccer crowd, that's how they rally the troops, so to speak. And it's like, well, this isn't a soccer match. I don't chant JETS, Jets at a wrestling event.
Yeah,
I don't chant Let's Go Rangers.
That's all they care about in Europe is soccer.
They just care about singing, and it's like, or late in the Bayley match when she's down, and they're still singing.
They treated it like a sporting event.
And I appreciate that. I just didn't like it.
When the Jets are down, they say JETS, Jets.
I mean, so I appreciate that if it's the events, and again, disagree with me, that's fine. I didn't like it. Like Bayley's down late in the match, and my favorite quote, and we said this in the group when we went back and forth on this, is they're singing, and even Corey Graves is like, he actually said, this is the quote, what are these fools in England singing about? Bayley's in a world of trouble, and they're singing her a song. And that's exactly how I felt.
And is it Rich or the other guy said, she's down and they're rallying her. And,
right. So
it's you want to look at it that way. I looked at it the other way. So
that's fine.
It didn't bother me whatsoever.
It all depends how you interpret it. Like I just want something different out of a wrestling crowd. Like I want a different type of reaction. So it all depends on how you want to watch pro wrestling. Like I wanted different reactions.
And in that match in particular, just to say though, because you were saying that they didn't react, they were singing. And she would get knocked down by Nia Jax again, and they would boo. Like in the middle, they would stop mid-song, and they booed. So. They
would boo in those moments, yeah. It was just a few times late in the match where they didn't stop singing. That made me mad. But, it can go both ways. I didn't like this type of crowd. I hate soccer anyway, and I hate soccer crowds. No offense to any of our fans over in Europe. I don't like it.
I just like soccer, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh no, they're doing soccer things, so I don't like it. No, I enjoy it. And I'm happy for them. Have fun. I appreciate them having fun. I appreciate them being creative with the chants and with the songs. I just felt like, like I said, after the first couple times, it gets really repetitive. And I thought they were only really good for the Joe Balor match, in my opinion. Because they weren't singing during that match. Like, they were just flat out like, okay, this is the fucking main event. Let's not sing a song. Let's be into this match. And that was the crowd I was looking for. So then they did deliver for you. So everybody's happy.
Yeah, later on. Matt, did you care at all about this? Or
What, the crowd situation?
Yeah. What do you think? Were you not bothered by it?
I was watching it at work, so I had the volume down very low.
Okay.
So I kind of just wasn't bothered by it.
Yeah. So anybody in our Facebook group, it seemed like I was definitely in the minority. A lot of people liked the crowd and they enjoyed it, so that's fine.
I got a smile on my face every time they came up with a new song and it worked and it was nice, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It added to the experience of the show. Mm-hmm. I watched it at work, sitting in the ambulance. I just sat back and I watched it and I enjoyed the whole thing.
Someone's in the back of the ambulance dying, and he's like, "Shut up, crowd singing."
I'm obviously not on a job.
Well, Joe.
Oh, we're gonna
I had to watch it like segmented because I would get a job, and then
Wait, who got a job?
my mother.
What? What? No, not your mother. It's
Then my mom got a job.
Yeah, I said differently. My mom. She got a
I
job.
feel like my role on the show is just to put the ball on the tee and just to let like Matt with the drops just knock him out of the park.
Yeah.
Like that's that's my job. That's my job, damn it.
That's like my mother became employed.
Depends how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh mercy. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention. I met Batista a week ago.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, I met Batista, and I didn't go to an autograph signing. I didn't go to a wrestling show, and he was there. He was outside my building, and I met him while standing at my front door. They are filming a movie outside of my apartment called Bushwick, which is going to be a movie about Texas deciding to start a war with the rest of the country. But when they get to Bushwick, Brooklyn, they meet a resistance. And Batista's part of that, apparently, in some fashion. So
The Resistance. Wait a minute. The Resistance. Was this episode 7?
yes, it was episode 7. That is one thing, by the way. Like, I guess this isn't. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. You want to shut me down for talking about like the
spoilers.
worst of
Lines
an,
you can't
of
say.
an alien.
Minor spoiler alert, everybody. Fast forward 5 minutes if you don't want to hear me say something that's potential spoiler. So we have this. Long story short, I don't even have to go into it. Why is the Resistance the Resistance?
That's a lot of people are saying because
They're not the Resistance. They're just the thing. They're the status quo.
if anything, the New Order is a resistance against the Republic,
Right.
That's always
and they should just be. I've heard this argument they should just be called just the defense, the Republic's army. You know
Now,
what I
to
mean?
me, what they should be is La Resistance. And Rene Dupree should be leading the.
Because there's no Paris in.
Again, this is not. But to me, this is not spoilers. This is
Yeah,
just
this isn't a spoiler.
going into the movie that there's the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah,
in
but
the First Order.
I just again, it's a rabbit hole, and I'm trying.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
Fair
I did want to preface spoiler before I said anything because you might like. I got to this movie literally knowing nothing except
Me
what I
too.
saw in that first. Like I avoided everything. I didn't even know. Like I started seeing people posting like the week of the movie. I predict this about Ren and Ray, and I'm like, what the hell? Like who's Ren? Like, I didn't even know who they were.
I was literally in the same exact boat. The first trailer, and I didn't know a damn thing. I didn't know their names. I didn't even know Ray's name was Ray until after the movie.
I didn't know. By the way, Ren and Ray, that's Queen and King in most Latin languages. Anybody know? Anybody pick up on that? Is that like that? Like is that like on purpose? That's got to be on purpose. But like, what is it?
Yeah, but Ray is king, and
Right.
that's the female.
Right. It's 2015. What if she?
Exactly.
Yeah. She's a woman that identifies as a king. That's okay. But no, that's just something to think about. Food for thought. Food for thought. That's all.
All right.
Good for thought. So you met Batista.
Yeah. So I'm standing on my front door, and there's an older lady that lives downstairs, and she walks out and she's kind of chatting with me, and she's like, "Oh, there's a wrestling thing, or there's a wrestler here," and I say, "Which wrestler?" And she says, "Batista," and I go, "Wait, what? Batista? He's like in my neighborhood right now, filming a movie." And sure enough, maybe. A few minutes later, he walks by. I was like, "Hey, Batista, I'm a fan of yours," and he was like, "Oh, thank you." He seemed kind of out of it. Maybe he just didn't want to talk to me. But before he walks up, she says, my son-in-law, he does wrestling." Say, "Who's your son-in-law?" She goes, Amazing Red." I'm like, Amazing Red is your son-in-law? And then when Batista walked by, she says, "Hey, Batista, do you know my son-in-law, Amazing Red?" And he says, "Who?" And I say, Amazing Red. He's an indie guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know him."
Did he do the bye? Did he wave the goodbye and just leave after that?
No.
He didn't do Batista?
Batista. But anyway, that was yeah. So I met Batista in front of my building.
Was he wearing blue?
I think he was actually. Like he had like a blue like winter jacket on it.
He was
Blue
Blue
Tista.
Diamond.
Blue Tista.
So I got to meet Blue Tista. So anyway, that was my exciting.
Wait, whoa! You blew Tista?
No. Why would you say that? Oh, good lord! What a terrible thing to say.
All right, I think we covered everything. No, top of the
yeah,
hour, way past top of the
Top of the hour, coming at you, doing the Job Wrestling Podcast.
Would you like to play a game?
I'm going to play a game.
That
was pretty good.
That's thank you. Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? I just realized now it's been a year. I could bust this out again.
Chestnuts beeping on an open booth. Jack Frost nipping at your mouth. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Mary Beep must whoop
I forgot about the yeah.
yeah.
I forgot about the whole thing. I forgot that was
It's a
even
couple.
thing.
Oh well, you know why you forgot about that?
Was that not on the show?
That was the one that you no showed doing the
Oh,
job.
that was the one that I randomly missed. Yeah, no, I remember that now. I know show doing the job. Yeah, that was
There's
the
a
only
couple.
episode.
It's a couple
Yeah.
flat notes in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who's that
Yeah.
sexy singer? Woo!
Oh Jesus!
Lighting the panties on fire with that. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's Red Panty Night.
Yeah, that's anyway, before I get into buy or sell, so Denny, your girlfriend
Yeah.
Danielle
Uh-huh.
is doing our
job.
little silly. She's doing the job and doing our little silly show here.
She
Quite
does the job all
quite
right.
a service. So her and I are currently in collaboration to finally.
You're in
get these-
cahoots.
We're in cahoots, yeah. To finally get these buy or sells in order. So I've had pages upon pages, and she apparently is a spreadsheet queen, and she is
that's
doing.
like her life obsession is to make spreadsheets.
I've found that out, yeah. So she's doing. She's not only doing the job, she's doing like a fantastic job of putting some of these together. Because I've seen the updates of what she's doing here, and we're looking hopefully at the start of the new year that all of it will be done and up to date, and we'll have official records, because I haven't updated you guys with your records in like over a year.
Jesus.
And they'll be on
Yeah, we did.
DTJ Wrestling, DTJWrestling.com.
You announced me as the winner of last season after WrestleMania, so
Yeah, you're right, because I think it was pretty obvious by that point.
Yeah.
So-
you guys fixed the whole thing.
So on DTJWrestling.com, starting in the new year, most likely by that date, we'll all the jobbers out there will be able to actually see the results of all of the buy or sells we've done.
I should
ever.
have my first NXT review by then as well.
Yeah, dating. Yeah, right. You still got to do
How's
that.
Wrestle Road Trip? The newest installment coming.
I should have it. I'm going to finish editing it tonight.
No, Denny. Just be smart about this. Say you're going to have it done by March 31st. Then if it delivers,
No. I'm having it. It'll be ready for the new year.
Why don't you? You should know by now. You just say March 31st, and if you drop it like February 1st, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's early."
No, it's
That's how you do
really,
things.
I actually spent
Under
a couple
promise,
hours
over
the other
deliver.
day,
Right.
finished- I had the rough cut done like in August, and then I said I'm gonna take a break, and then I like the other day I just did a lot of edits, and now I just have to add some voiceovers and some things, and like that's it. It is
Alright.
done because Paulie Walnuts is here for the Christmas break, and I want to have it ready for his viewing, like complete full, and like New Year's Day I'm off. I will probably put it up on New Year's Day.
Okay.
All right, so we got coming up in 2016. Big things popping, little things stopping. All right, here we go.
Sean, I'm sorry you didn't make the cut, my friend.
Well, I didn't go to WrestleMania. So.
No, I mean like I recorded like a little speech of you like being upset that Roman didn't win, and then like I didn't fit it in.
Okay, it's okay.
No, wait, how long is it this year?
42 minutes.
And how many minutes of that is just you?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I will, however,
I'm behind the camera the majority of it.
Okay, good.
presumably I'll be in the next Wrestle Road Trip documentary, because I will be there this year with you.
Oh, this was the last one, by the way.
Oh, well, fuck my life.
Well, no, I'll make a small like little how do you do, but it's not gonna be like a full production anymore. Like I'm like so I made my trilogy. I'm done.
All right. Well, how do you do?
I'll just make prequels. I'll just make just make the one we went. like somehow I'll do like 25, 26, or 27 or something, and be like, how this isn't. That's not what happened.
Yeah, the second one was all me. This one I tried to like be a little more subdued, but I'm in there. Can't help it.
WrestleMania 55 will be episode 7.
Yes,
of Wrestle Road Trip.
You actually did math on that, didn't you?
What?
Because that would be it was from 83 to now. It was 32 years.
I literally just guessed. I didn't even guess. I just throw it a number. Is that actually accurate?
Yeah, because
wow.
I mean, I guess it would be. It's pretty close. Let's put it that way.
Savant status right there.
Yeah.
I just threw out a random number. All right then. Buy yourselves a little light because again I didn't really watch Raw. So, but I got a trio on the docket here. Let's get into one that I alluded to earlier. Buy or sell. Stephanie faces any repercussions for slapping Tom Phillips.
Oh man, she should, but she's not gonna.
Yeah, that'll probably just be forgotten about. I'll sell it.
Yeah, I guess sell then.
It's so stupid. I'm so sick of this authority bullshit.
Her character is annoying to me because she never gets comeuppance. Like, never.
Right. Like, she was poised to get comeuppance at was it SummerSlam?
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
That was last year, yeah. And it was just, nope, I turned Nikki Bella, and she never got anything.
And you remember we were talking about it, and everybody said, this is very obvious, Nikki Bella's going to turn on Brie, that's where this is going, and I was the one that said, but that doesn't make any sense for her to turn on Brie. The only way that would work is if they just turned her just for this match, and then they undo it like a month later, and that would be exceedingly stupid. And of course,
they did that too.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, they went with exceedingly stupid.
This is what sucks about 2015 is that the perfect upcomings would have been Roman Reigns just spearing the shit out of Stephanie McMahon, like right out of her boots.
I mean, lots of things suck about 2015, but
yeah. But as far as like story goes, like that would have been like completely perfect.
Yeah.
Like her to just get just annihilated with a story.
Or like she gets that chair thrashing that Sheamus and Triple H got.
Oh my god, yeah, that.
They
both
would never even do that in the Attitude.
If I was playing, I would reluctantly buy. I don't know. That's just to end the show. Tom Phillips, I would probably buy that.
But like, what comes of that? Like Todd Phillips, what is Todd Phillips gonna do? Like he's like,
I don't know.
Well, then why did she slap the shit out of him?
Because
something has to happen.
Because she's a heel and she had to take her aggression.
Probably nothing's gonna happen.
All right. Moving on. Let's. So this is kind of one we have variations on recently, but we're getting into Royal Rumble season now. Buy or sell, someone who is... So let's make a definitive one here. Someone who is not currently active wins the Royal Rumble. So anybody who's not...
Does that include Brock Lesnar?
That includes Lesnar, that includes Cena, even though he's returning next week.
You can't do that.
Oh, well, it's literally people not active right this second.
Yeah, but we already have Crystal Ball, and we both put Lesnar in it, right? In our 4 Crystal Ball. And you know what I mean? It's kind of like...
I mean, that was like a month ago, right?
Let's presume at this point, because
that was a month ago.
Let's presume at this point, like presuming that they are going to refrain from hot potatoing the championship right now, which is really the way they should go. There would have to be a heel. You'd want a heel to be the opposition of Roman Reigns. You wouldn't want it to be Lesnar because that would divide the audience. And you don't like Roman Reigns is finally got some momentum. You don't want to take it away from him.
Yeah,
just not
the WrestleMania crowd that they'd be way more in favor of Lesnar anyway.
That of course is not to say that WWE would be so stupid as to do that because they probably will. But I don't like when it comes down to the Royal Rumble. I mean, Kevin Owens would be a good opponent for him, especially if they're going to keep him thrashing through the roster now until Mania. Like
the thing that I was just thinking about. Is that so? Who like the rumor is like Lesnar again and the rumor is like Owens and Lesnar,
I've heard
right?
so many rumors at this
Right.
point.
I don't even wanna go off them.
Like,
So-
like literally, I've heard like every Triple H is going to
Every-
win the title, and then Roman Reigns is going to have to win it back, or Triple H is going to win the Rumble and then have the title shot. I've heard it's going to be Cena and Reigns, and that's going to kind of be the passing of the torch. Like
It's not out of the realm of possibility that Bray Wyatt could do it too, and they can have their WrestleMania main event.
But Bray Wyatt,
No.
just like he hasn't. I don't feel like Bray Wyatt's recovered enough from their previous
I don't
encounter to
e-
even
I
be
don't
a
either,
viable.
but-
Yeah, but so like knowing all of that, it's so hard to say. I mean, Dean Ambrose winning the Royal Rumble, the crowd would like Dean Ambrose winning. They wouldn't reject that, and that'd be a cool WrestleMania thing. But being that he just beat him like a month ago, that wouldn't work either. Nothing would work. The whole WWE universe is broken. Screw it. Let's all go home.
So if that counts a Lesnar, a Cena, a D. Bry, I'm just going to have to buy and hope that Owens doesn't win, even though I would want him to. And I think I put him in my 4.
I'm gonna buy it along with Denny.
So you're
Yeah.
both still kind of on that horse. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's just that there's more of a chance that there's a couple names that are inactive that are likely to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
So
All right. We'll revisit that soon enough in buy or sell. As we get closer to
Yes.
the Rumble. Last one. I don't think I did this at any point. Last one for tonight. Buy or sell. There will be an NXT superstar in the Royal Rumble.
100%.
Didn't we sell that? Or didn't
I
sell
think
it?
we had this last year, and
I thought we did that like last.
we did this
show.
last year for sure.
I thought we did it like last show.
Yeah, it sounds
I
very
think
familiar.
I mentioned it last show, but Denny, that was after you had left already, so I wrote
Okay.
it down for this week.
Yeah. I think
Okay, so
we
I
didn't
will
officially-
buy. I will buy.
I'll sell that.
All right.
We got a little difference of opinion there. That's it for buy or sell for tonight.
Okay.
Hopefully next week's Raw will progress storylines, and we can get some more over-unders buy or sells coming out of this.
All
Some more
right. Do we
clarity
want
on this Royal Rumble.
Gonna move on to emails and voicemails?
Absolutely.
Okay. I can't find theirs.
Mr. Drago. Looking for some paint points, baby, this evening.
What's the crack? What's the crack?
By the way, Draco sent the holiday cards to me. I have them all for you guys.
Oh, that's nice.
I had them as well,
What do you have?
but I think I also have them.
Yeah.
They were in my email.
No, he physically sent me cards. Like I have.
Oh, physically. Oh, I had the digital pictures.
I have like real ass cards over here.
No,
Although
all right.
I thought he was going to wish me a happy Hanukkah, you a Merry Christmas, and then Sean a happy Festivus. And he
I
almost,
want Festivus.
he pretty much did that.
I don't want Christmas.
Well, you're like the most goyim that we have on the show. So.
I mean, no.
You're a Gentile.
I haven't been like a Catholic since freshman year of high school.
Were you baptized?
Yes, at
Okay.
age 7.
Okay, so you lose. Congratulations, you lose.
Yeah, I mean, I could run up to you and dump a bucket of water on your head and say a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Doesn't mean that it means anything to you.
That's right, but I'm not baptized.
I mean, like I am, but it doesn't.
You know, a
mean,
warlock could melt my fat and drink it, and then he could fly.
yeah, but that's not real. Just like Jesus, that's not real either.
No,
so.
it's real.
What the hell are we talking about?
Jesus.
Google it. Google a warlock spell for flying. It involves drinking
Jesus.
unbaptized fat.
Ah,
That's another obscure reference. Okay.
no
someone,
religion, no politics. Let's go.
someone read Draco's email, please.
I don't have that.
Oh, because your mailbox was full. That's right.
No, I cleared it
Yeah,
out.
you cleaned
I was
it
able
out.
to do it from my phone. I can't do it from the webpage for some reason.
Yeah,
It's weird.
you cleaned it out today.
I just did it today. Yeah.
Anyway, dear Doing the Job host, the Slammies, Raw, what did I think was good and bad? Well, this should be a short email. I digress. The only Slammy worth mentioning that was correct was Seth Rollins. I think we agreed on that.
We all agreed on that. Yep.
I digress. Roman did good with Stephanie in the beginning of the show, talking-wise, as he seemed to be talking more casually. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
He seems more confident.
I think it's a little
He is
easier
the-
now that the crowd is actually behind him.
Yeah.
And he's the champion, so
Yeah.
I'd be confident too.
I think M2J or somebody said the League of Nations needed to start beating people up for an entire Raw, and tonight they did. Yeah, they kind of did. I don't remember saying that, though. It must have been one of you guys. How about that John Cena returns versus Del Rio next Monday? Not suggesting it, saying like, how about that? What's the buy or sell on what color shirt Cena will be wearing? Ooh, that's a good one. That's more
actually a good one.
That's a crystal ball. It's more of a crystal ball one, though, right?
It's a crystal ball. Like, okay, if I would say buy or sell, John Cena returns with new gear or new merchandise. We're all buying that, right?
What, a different shirt? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all buying that. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do that. Crystal. That's a fun one. Good job, Draco. Crystal ball. What color gear / shirt / merchandise does John Cena?
Have we had purple? We haven't had purple in a while, right?
We had purple had the purple and yellow. We had that Lakers color with the purple and yellow.
And how long ago was that?
A couple years, I think.
So we're due for purple.
I think we are due for purple. That's a good bet.
Let's see. Right now he went with green and orange. He had blue fairly recently.
Where's the event? Because a lot of times that holds water on what he. So it's in Brooklyn.
New York.
He's not debuting black and white.
Are you sure it's on MSG? MSG is the house show. Brooklyn.
It's Barclays.
Yeah, he's not doing black and white for the Nets.
Yeah. I think I'll go with purple.
Wow.
Danny, pick a color.
I would like to do purple, but I'll do something different in the interest of difference. Boy, I feel like we had yellow not that long ago. We just had orange and green.
Yeah, and he had black when the champ was here.
Something red. We haven't had red since 2011, so something red.
We haven't, yeah. All right.
Something red.
All right, you got
something
red.
with red as the dominant color.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the dominant color.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Dominant color.
Okay. We're going dominant color.
Yeah.
But if black is dominant with another color, then the other color counts. Okay.
I agree with that. Matt?
No, I'd say if black is dominant, black is dominant.
Yeah, but like black and white aren't colors.
Yeah, but like if
they're dominant,
if the shirt is dominantly black, like for example, if it were his like the Champ is Here shirt for the United States Championship, like that was a black shirt.
The black shirt.
So
yeah,
like,
you know what? I'm switching my opinion. Yeah, I agree with Matt now.
All right, so we'd have to, as long as the rule is if we think it's a dominant black shirt or dominant white shirt, we'd have to pick that.
I'm the game master. I'll make the final call. Hopefully,
Okay.
it should be pretty obvious though.
Like if it's a Ruck Full shirt again, then it's black's the dominant color, and there's no.
Yeah, I don't think he's going with a black or white. Those are usually like typically like angle specific.
Well, if he's thinking about being Michael Jackson's baby, it doesn't matter if he's black or white.
No.
Yeah. He digresses. He loves Neville, but Kevin Owens should have 100% won that no contest breakout star of the year. Cesaro or Sasha Banks should have won match of the year. Oh, wait, they weren't nominated. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yep.
And then he censors himself, which, like, is he saying, like, thank fuck? Thank fuck John Cena comes back on Monday. I don't care if it's a rehash of John Cena versus the Nexus, but now versus the League of Nations. Anything, please, and thank you. Sincerely, Mr. Draco. Happy holiday to the hosts and listeners and jobbers. Oh, my.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Happy holidays to you as well, Draco.
Alrighty. Do you guys get Steve-O's or Jay Gags' email?
Yeah.
Jax?
Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Jay Gags, he says, "Hey guys, just wanted to make a couple comments on last night's Slammies. One thing I can't seem to figure out is if the voting is legit or not. I strongly lean towards it all being set up ahead of time. And if that's the case, why give all these awards to people who aren't there? I think my phone just found a secret and like bombs and stuff.
Yep.
Let me be professional and silent.
Put it on silent? Yeah, thank you. Jeez.
Yeah, that would work. Silent
Put your phone down. Put your phone down.
Well, I'm reading my email off the phone, so this is just a total shit show. He says, and if that's the case, why give it to all these people, all these awards to people who aren't there?
Remember when what's his name, Roman Reigns was injured last year for like 2 or 3 months, and then he just came back and won Superstar of the Year?
Yeah,
that was BS. That was the start. That was where they.
That was BS.
That was the major misstep.
I admit to that for sure. Towards the end of the night, you could really tell how frustrated the crowd was getting, thinking they would see some fan favorites make a surprise return, only to have the presenter accept on their behalf. So that did suck, but I do think that these votings are probably legit.
Yeah, because
they're just so weird, some of them, and they're very face oriented.
Yeah.
So they're legit.
Agreed.
Yeah. He goes on to say, I think it's time to turn Slammies into a WWE Network special that is strictly an award show like it once was, only now on award. I'm sorry?
I totally agree. It should
keep it separate.
The way that it used to be like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that should be like an hour-long special on the network. We'd probably all watch that.
Give it 2
Then
hours.
I would just read the results. I wouldn't care because it'd probably be just as stupid and awful.
No, cause keep in mind, I'm a mark for things like Primetime Wrestling and Tuesday Night Titans. So like an actual award show I'd be to all my glory watching that.
I'm tired of the Vinnie Mac obsession with the. Just do our version of that. Let's do our version of.
That's all I want. Like especially this time of year, like get cozy on the futon, got the Christmas tree next to the television, eat some snacks, and watch the Slammies. I would be in all my glory.
I just want to watch. I just want to watch a wrestling show. I'm really tired of the WWE versions of pop culture things and stuff. I'm just over it.
Well, the good thing is if it's on the network, it doesn't interfere with Raw, and you don't have to actually.
I don't have to watch it. No, exactly.
Perfect on all accounts. Yeah,
keep it off of the Raw. I want to watch a good Monday night wrestling show every week. And
so now Jason Gaglione, he goes even further. He says to make it on the network as a special, strictly an award show, I reread this wrong twice. Like it once was, only now on a larger scale with musical acts and other guests, much like other award shows.
Yes,
that's a good idea.
This is great.
They could do a red carpet and attract at least some celebrities, much like they have for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
This is the best idea I think I've ever heard in my life. And I've heard some.
It's not a bad idea. It would definitely be better.
Yeah. Take care, guys, and enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, they get all their. I mean, they got some like acts in their pocket, like Machine Gun Molly and that other guy, Flo Rida or whatever.
They could do like Motorhead or something. Maybe.
Yeah, Motorhead. There you go. This makes sense.
Look at our jobbers coming through today with some great ideas. Yeah. Good job, guys. Who else we got?
Good job, Steve-O. Steve-O time. All right, here we go. Raw stuff.
Time.
These episodes always feel like horribly packages when you have the award show feel. Way to kill your momentum, WWE. I don't know if they had momentum.
Well, because last week
definitely had momentum. Last week's Raw was awesome.
Yeah, last week's Raw was awesome. I'm sorry.
A bunch of people probably watched this week to see like how the story continued, and they were like, "Oh!" And next week the ratings are probably going to decline again.
Yeah, because this total shits. I don't. They could have did this. I don't know. They shouldn't do it at all. Also, way to kill Roman's intensity by having him smirk around and obnoxious Stephanie and walk away. I don't think that kills his intensity at all. It makes him like the cool guy who doesn't give a shit. It's fine. Talk about shooting your gains in the foot on that one. Again, an article to follow. No, please don't. How is putting Ambrose vs. Sheamus in the cage a threat? In fact, Ambrose kayfabe probably is all about that idea. Yeah, we said that exact thing. I was hoping beyond hope that they wouldn't do the Steve Harvey switcheroo, but they did, and it wasn't that great.
Oh, come on.
Of course WWE always, if something happened in pop culture, they're going to reference it, they're going to make a joke. It's just, this is forever now since Hogan dropped the leg on Shiggy Baby. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but how can you not root for that? That's hilarious. Come on. And of course they made the black guy do it, too.
Raw dropped a little over 500,000 viewers this week.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
It was terrible. It was awful. I enjoy Owens and his antics. Same with the New Day. No depth, nothing new, just fact. Okay. Kane is back. Swagger got airtime. And even Dreamer is still on TV. But with this format, they were all unceremoniously discarded. Such a letdown. I really don't want to see any of those three guys anyway. So I don't care. I don't know how you guys feel.
Agreed.
Dreamer's over the hill. Swagger is like, just cut him loose already. And Swagger. Kane should retire.
Swagger.
I need more Noel in my life. Well, you're not going to get it.
Oh, yeah,
Bending down and moving presents all day. Seriously, that needs to be a thing.
Yeah, we got Noel and Santa Claus.
And good old jolly old Saint Nick and another one of his kids.
By the way, I got another pro wrestling crate to review.
Can't wait to see the video.
Probably try to drop that Christmas Eve or Christmas.
Anything good?
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, well, look at that.
The unboxing will take place, you'll see it as I do it.
Man, you don't fuck around, man. That's no lie. You really open that shit.
Yeah.
I will enjoy Sean's SmackDown report. Sean, did you do SmackDown report?
What?
Sean, did you do the SmackDown report?
What?
Oh, boy.
So you didn't do the SmackDown report?
I can't bring myself to watch SmackDown.
So that's it.
Don't do it. Don't bend to Steve O's will.
Well, there was a bet, and the bet's, I guess.
I already made. Yeah, I made. I'm
so
a
you lost the bet.
I'm a man of honor. I lost the bet.
SmackDown's actually happening right now. We forget.
So wait. So what do you got to give to Steve O now?
Steve O, I believe, said that I have to read something disparaging about Roman Reigns and Taylor Swift.
Oh, big deal. So just be disingenuous about it.
Oh, God.
As Roman, well, obviously you are because you don't have any negative things to say about either one of them.
Well, I mean, I think it's a prepared statement that he's going to make for me. So, and I have to actually say the words.
That's pretty stupid.
It's gonna be difficult.
Anything
Good
good?
like Roman Reigns is a big poopy head or something?
SmackDown link is happening right now. Anybody know anything?
There's a live SmackDown going on. Yeah,
There's like a live SmackDown
with like titles with title implications.
Oh, let's see if I can find
the IC and tag titles are on the line.
If they're intelligent, they'll do something major on the SmackDown when it's live.
Taking a sprint.
Oh, it's a
half man, half sprint.
Of course.
As Roman did get some I will enjoy Sean's SmackDown report, which isn't happening. As Roman did get some talk time, and tonight has the live SmackDown. Okay.
Hey, wait. Sean Spurs with a SmackDown report back. Take it away, Sean.
I didn't watch SmackDown.
This has been Sean Michael Spurs with a SmackDown report. There we go.
Steve-O asked stuff. M2J and the Slammy goes to. So last week I asked what 3 biggest problems with the E currently is. This week I'll ask you to try to find the 3 best people/things going for the company. We need positive cheer in this holiday season.
The best 3 things like in the company?
Best 3 things in the company. They could be people. They could be an aspect about the company. They could be anything, apparently.
I'd say CFO $. He's writing some good tunes lately.
Word.
Right.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay. CSO $.
$.
I probably would say Corey Graves. People seem to like
KE $HA
because people seem to like him, and he like knows wrestling, and so he's a good look for both the men and the women.
Okay.
And finally, last but not least,
And his name is John C.
I'm serious.
Certainly.
There's no complaints with that, yeah.
Certainly. All right. This is what the hell? Oh, okay. Denny, Grumpykins 2015. The year is over, and I My Butterfly has been relatively sidelined for this year. We try to give Diva listeners a chance, but they seem to have died in the womb. Nice reference.
That's good.
If you could take the time to reach out to the ladies who listen, if you guys still have any of them, what would you ask them going into the next year? Listen to our show. And call in and write in. I mean, you could write emails to any one of our names, Denny at DGJWrestling.com, Matt at M2J at DGJWrestling.com, Sean at DGJWrestling.com, obviously. And you can send an email just like Steve-O is and tell us all the things you love and hate about the WWE or any wrestling. You can just tell us how your day's been.
By the way, speaking of email, have you guys been getting like a massive influx of spam?
Sometimes
I get one every now and then about watching.
This month, especially this week, I've been getting like so much. Like it's absurd.
I think my spam filter just catches them all.
I mean, I get my email through Gmail, so it catches it. But like I see when I get it, and it's just like I get like 4 or 5 a day now, and that just started a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Well, we're getting more spam than females, but that's obviously because females definitely don't know anything about professional wrestling, and there's no way that they would be able to figure something out, like emailing into a show or leaving a voicemail or something. There's no way they could figure something like that out, right? Right.
Hey, prove him wrong. No,
exactly.
Yeah, prove him wrong. Hey, and if you,
I'm trying to use psychology, Denny.
I will second your statement though. I get more spam than females, and that's pretty much the story of my life.
Well, if any of you ladies want to call into the show and leave a voicemail, you can call at 646-820-3332, and you can hear my stupid voice telling you to leave a message.
Yeah, really.
All right, so I took your question and I used it to plug our shit. DTJWrestling.com.
You certainly got our shit in, yeah.
We got a question for Sean?
Got our shit in. All right. Next, Senior Analyst of Analyzation. You better not pout, and I'm telling you why. All the people on the show you've probably been the only one who's been nice all year long.
Yeah.
Fuck you, buddy.
Noel Foley will be visiting your apartment and giving you a wonderful bounty of stuff. What would you ask from Jolly Saint Mick? It can be a tangible item or a personalized item. Just remember, he can't toss Denny off the top of a cell. Can I just add a comment before you answer this question? That if Noel Foley is coming to your house, I'm pretty sure you already received your gift.
I was going to say that, but I think you misread this. It says Nick Foley, and I think you meant to write Mick Foley. I think it was a typo.
It says Jolly Saint Mick. I'm looking at it right now.
Prior to that, you said Noel Foley. It says on here Nick Foley.
Oh.
I'm reading the same email as you are.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes, I did mess that up.
So wait, so who's coming to your apartment?
Okay,
apparently somebody named Nick Foley.
All right, so Nicholas Foley.
I just picture ding dong. You open the door to Nick Foley, and you just go, "Oh fuck!" and you slam the door.
Sir Nicholas Foley.
Fuck is Nick Foley? Okay, so assuming he meant Mick, obviously it must have been a typo. If that was actually my answer. What Denny was getting at was his daughter. I'll just take your daughter.
Yeah, speaking of bounty, how about some bountiful bosom?
Oh my good. Holy
I was upset that her hair was covering most of her cleavage while she was bent over in that segment.
She's very bosomy, yeah.
It is a PG show.
She's amazing. She is amazing.
She's dead to me.
Why is she dead to you? What happened?
Because she cosplayed Poison.
Good, one less guy.
She cosplayed Poison Ivy.
Is that like a zero tolerance rule on playing
zero tolerance? It's like you're doing the most overdone, annoying friggin' cosplay that every girl's like, oh, I can just like wear some leaves and shit, and I'm Poison. Like, oh, get out of here.
I don't want to offend the cosplayers. Actually, I don't even care. But I feel like every cosplay ever is the most overrated, the most overdone. Cosplay.
Women, it's Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. It's just
Harley Quinn by a mile.
Yeah, Harley Quinn is like, yeah.
Harley Quinn by like a smidgen more, but I swear to God, like every convention, more so like New York Comic Con because it's less like Japanese stuff and more like comic book stuff. I just go around and I count them, and they're just like over 100, like each of them, like every weekend that I just feel like every time I see somebody like post like their cosplay and stuff, like no disrespect, but like I've seen somebody do that 40 million times.
You know, once in a while you see someone cosplay Samus Aran, and it's just so good.
Samus, yeah.
To answer the question, I would ask for his daughter. Simple, to the point.
I can show you like the best Samus ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Put your phone down.
I'm on my phone.
Ah, you're on your phone. Yeah, I know.
Visuals on an audio.
All right, I'm gonna play a voicemail here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Incarbone, and I am the voicemail advocate for your reigning, defending, undisputed, best fan-made podcast in the world today, and that is Doing the Job Wrestling Podcast. So don't you dare be sour. Put your hands together for your world-famous host and feel the power. Because today is a Tuesday. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So besides Brock Lesnar not being at the show, Kane not having pyros, and the awkwardness of having guys that are already in the ring while the Slammies were going down and people were making their speeches, I just thought that was awkward.
That was awkward.
The only thing I really took away from Raw was the Owen Hart DVD, and I can't wait for it to come out, because it's going to be excellent.
Now, I'm confused. Didn't that come out 2 weeks ago? Because I remembered it coming out 2 weeks ago, and then I looked at Amazon and I saw the release date was December 8th, which would be about 2 weeks ago. But it seems like people were like saying this just came out.
So it's out?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
I have no idea.
As far as I know, it's out. Like, you can go to Amazon, buy it right now, and it will ship, and you will get it.
Interesting.
Anyway.
So that seems like something people should do.
I guess people just missed it. I don't know.
So with all that said, I need to tell you guys a quick story.
Uh-oh.
Many Christmases ago, I went to go buy a doll for my daughter. I reached for the last one that they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way. The doll was destroyed, but a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us. Welcome, newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it.
You people.
So in lieu of what I said last week, hopefully all three of you guys are there today. Pick a listener. You could pick me. You could pick anybody you want from the Facebook group. Air a grievance, and then I want each one of you to air a grievance versus each other. Have fun with it, and let's see if you guys can pull off a feat of strength too. Peace, spada boom, the realest guy in the room. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah to all my people.
And Happy Festivus, Merry Festivus too. I mean,
Yeah. Before we even get into that, that's a great point. You people, is Frank Costanza like a heel?
Yes, clearly he's a heel.
He's a heel. He drops a you people.
Hey, Denny, is this like a painting?
no,
It doesn't look like it's like a cosplay.
it's real.
I was hoping to see like the Zero Suit Samus and somebody's just fat ass like right.
I think she has a zero suit.
Why
And
does this look like
her rump is rather large anyway?
This looks
so,
like a painting to me.
large and in charge.
Why does it look like a painting?
It's not a painting. I show you it's real. I've seen it in person.
Yeah, it does look like a painting.
It looks like a painting.
It's not a painting. It's real.
Oh,
it is a picture of a real person in a costume.
No, it's a painting.
With lighting.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
Denny, I've got a lot of problems with you, and now you're gonna hear about it.
It's making me.
That is a painting.
That's a painting.
Well, okay, you guys are morons. Anyway.
Oh, I just kind of scrolled down through this Facebook cosplayers cosplay thing here that you sent me, and she did Poison Ivy.
No.
So that's it.
And that's
she was young and needed the money.
This was like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks ago. December 9th, she posted that. Anyway,
she does everything though, so it's okay.
Oh, well, that's the kind of girl I like.
So that's okay. I'm pretty sure Noelle Foley does everything by just being Noelle Foley.
Yes.
Like, Noelle Foley just cosplays herself, and that's good enough for me.
She gives blowjobs with the Mankind mask on.
Oh.
That's disturbing.
Oh. I don't know how I would feel about that, actually. I don't know. This is going to...
Paints points.
Hey, guys. Michael Payne calling in this week. As you can tell, I am back, baby. I'm back, baby!
Yeah!
He's excited.
Throw back there. Yeah, I'm feeling much better this week, as you guys can tell. A little steroids, a little Z-Pack.
I was right.
I'm good to go. I almost missed the show this week. I had work, got caught up in it, and just got out of the trainer. So, want to touch base on a few things from Raw. To be honest with you, I wasn't really paying attention to Raw very much, kind of back and forth because of fantasy football. And I'm going to lead into that real quick. So, I lost by, I think, like a little bit over a point, I think, to my buddy Chris. So, Chris, you can F off. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. And, unfortunately, the Master of Analyzation, he's, out too. So, Sean, good season. Glad we had fun smack talking each other. The rest of the league, I want to give you all a good game pat in the butt, if you will. I had fun. Next year, let's do it for some money. Let's get some competition going. So, with that being said, Raw was okay. I like the cage match. It was a Slammy show, whatever. Slammy shows are kind of iffy to me, so, blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to give this show, I'm going to go be a little generous here, 5 Slammies out of 10. So,
Generous.
Didn't think it was great, but I was kind of flipping back and forth. I thought the first hour was brutal. Second and third hour were just okay. So, other than that, I'm trying to squeeze this in real quick here. I want to say Merry Christmas to all the jobbers. I really appreciate everything the hosts, what you've done for us this season, and or this year, should I say. And I hope everyone's has a blessed holiday. Matthew, happy Hanukkah. Sorry, I wished you that a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But so, with that being said, have a great holiday, and we'll talk next week. Hey, real quick discussion point. What's your favorite wrestling Christmas memory? For a little talking point of the show this week. Bye, guys.
The same thing we said last year. The drunken Santa at Ring of Honor Final Battle 2010. Right, Matt?
Was that our favorite wrestling Christmas memory? Because that really...
I swear, I could have sworn we said that last year.
Mine is definitely like a couple years ago when Del Rio hit Santa with the car.
Yes,
and John Cena backstage just screams out, "For Santa!"
Yeah, that's a good one.
That whole episode was weird. It was like this whole comedy episode that like had nothing to do with anything.
It's the only episode of Raw I think ever that I consider non-canon.
Yeah, it was non-canon.
Totally non-canon.
And I definitely
that also had that colleague going, "Santa, we miss you."
I did like at the end of Survivor Series 92 when Santa comes out to celebrate with Bret Hart, and then at the end of the at least the Coliseum home video, they have a backstage where Brett tells Santa, "I want you to bring me the biggest. I want you to bring me the baddest." You know, and that's drop the strap to you.
What about Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is phenomenal, but that didn't really like go anywhere. It was like
that was Balls Mahoney.
Yeah, I'm fully aware. I watch wrestling. But Steve,
I'm telling it to the people.
But Steve Austin beating the crap out of the Santa Claus that like kind of was a dick in '97 was great. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. That was Brawler though, right?
I think it was. Yeah,
I think it was Brawler.
But yeah, he wished me happy Hanukkah.
Hey.
I still have my kazoo.
Apparently.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I think that's it. That's everything.
All right.
Are we ready for any nuggets?
There will be minimal nuggets, but I guess we're ready.
Do you have nuggets?
I guess I got a few, yeah.
I want to eat nuggets.
Beep boop man, beep boop man, beep beep boop boop man, beep 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 boop boop, beep 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 boop man, beep boop man, beep boop man, beep beep boop boop man, beep 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 boop boop, beep 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 boop beep boop man.
Beep 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 boop man, beep 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 boop man.
You guys are absolutely fucking ridiculous. You know? Just throwing that out there. That's fucking stupid.
Beep 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 boop man, beep 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 boop man. Oh, beep. Never mind.
Really quick, 30 seconds. What's your guys' favorite Christmas song of all time?
I'm a big fan of
nothing wrestling related here. Just curious.
I hate them all.
See, I have a top three.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Last Christmas by Wham.
Okay, it's in my top three.
Yeah. Christmas is Painting the Town by the Oak Ridge Boys. And the Christmas Song by the Nat King Cole version.
What's the Christmas song again?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
On a beep boop man.
On a beep boop man.
We did that already.
Yeah.
That's
the Christmas song.
Okay. Danny?
I like the Christmas song just because, I mean, I hate all Christmas music. I can't stand it all. But, like, there's stuff that's like, I get it, you know? Like, the Christmas song, like, that's just like a classic standard, like a cool little ditty. So I like that. The Mariah Carey song, like you say, is like the perfection. Like, that's just like, I hate Christmas music, and it's corny, but it's just like, it's infectious. Like, it sounds good. You know, you feel it. You get with it. And I don't know. I like, does Let It Snow count as a Christmas song?
Yes, because it's lumped in. Even though it's like a winter song, it's really a Christmas song at this point.
Yeah, I like Let It Snow. There might be one or two other ones that I tolerate, but for the most part, there's most of them I can't stand them.
See, I love Christmas music. Sean, what's yours?
I dislike most Christmas music, but my top three is definitively Mariah, number one, no doubt about it. Because that's a song you just listen to all year long, no matter what.
No,
number two, John Lennon, of course. Happy Christmas.
So this is Christmas?
War is over?
Yeah, War is over. And number three would be Wham, also, Last Christmas.
Wham is really good, and Lennon, yeah. Those big.
Those are my definitive three. Like, one is far ahead of the next, then the next is far ahead of the other one, and then that one is far ahead.
Like, all the Jesus stuff is the stuff that drives me crazy. You know, like Little Drummer Boy and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, but to me, the content doesn't matter. I just don't like the songs of those. But anyway, this was a quick topic. You want to eat some nuggets?
Yes.
I'm
hungry. Right, let's eat some nuggets. Let me try to sift through whatever minimal notes I took. Well, I was wondering for Roman Reigns if there were going to be any like residual boos like coming out of those other shows because he got cheered the last couple times and everybody was super behind him. So it's good that it looks like he's actually officially over, like as champion. Like that's a thing now. So hopefully we don't have to worry about people just flat out booing him anymore.
I'm happy for you, Sean.
Thank you.
I still want him to bang all the divas, and that'll be.
Well, that's obvious.
I would be fine with that. Yeah,
I want all the guys to bang the divas because you want your bros to be getting it. You know?
But now he said too many times on the air, like I have a kid and spending Valentine's.
Yeah, it's
when he turns heel,
such a heel.
Heel turn. There you go. I think Incarbone was the one to mention this. No pyro for Kane, so it's always an awkward thing whenever Kane does the arms going down in the ring and the pyro just doesn't go off whatsoever.
I don't know if you have this on your nuggets, but Incarbone and I were trying to figure out on the Facebook group what the hell Nikki Bella was wearing.
Oh, I don't care what she was wearing. I was fine with it.
It was too distracting. It wasn't like sexy at all. It was like she was wearing like an over the top like baggy like pantsuit from the 90s, but instead of it being solid material, it was like this mesh pattern of some kind.
Look, it showed cleave. It showed see-through cleave. I was fine.
Yeah, it was just weird.
I'm okay with it.
Not
So, another thing I was going to mention too. So, and it doesn't really ultimately matter, but as an LOL moment of the year, they threw like the New Day as one of their things. But now, out of all of the great New Day stuff all year they've done, week in and week out, what was the moment they picked? The Authority dancing with them. You had to.
Yeah. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, man. Oh my god, I couldn't believe that was the worst New Day moment of the year.
Yeah, just typical.
That was your parents going, "Hey, we're cool. Hey, we're cool. Hey, we're cool. We're jumping on board of the thing that all the fans like, us, the Authority." Like, you're supposed to be heels. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know. And Matt, I think you brought this up earlier when we were talking about Star Wars, but I think it was cool, speaking of the New Day, when they were intentionally about to spoil Star Wars for people, when Biggie was going to do it. And
they were, like, well, maybe.
And Kofi was like, I didn't see it yet. Stop it. I got kids. So, thought that was cool. Thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like I said, I really didn't get a chance to watch Raw, so I didn't take many notes. My final nugget of the night doesn't come from Raw, but it comes from real life. So, and R-Truth reminded me of this actually. So we know R-Truth's old thing with when he was a heel, talking about spiders and spider soup. I almost had the unfortunate chance of eating spider soup this past week. I was making soup.
What? Don't say this.
And a spider was just out of nowhere, just randomly descended from like the heavens, just from the ceiling. And I caught it in time. But he was making a beeline for the soup.
Going into your soup? Bro,
yep.
Scarred for life, bro. I'd never eat soup again if a spider was near it.
I almost had spider soup.
Has there been a handful of times in your life where you, for some reason, like checked some spot that you never look at and there was a spider there?
Oh, awful, yeah.
Because there was this one day I was sitting at the very seat at the very desk I'm at right now, and for some reason, I have no idea why, I just looked straight up above me. Like, I never look up above me when I'm just looking at my computer and doing things, and there was a spider hanging from the ceiling about 2 feet above my head.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
It was like...
Oh, man.
I've had the unfortunate thing where, like, you're just, like, staring straight ahead, and a spider will descend right in front of your face.
See, that's never happened to me, but that sounds fucking awful.
That's happened to me like 3 times, and it's like
surprise spiders are the fucking worst.
Surprise spiders, yeah.
Oh so my god!
I almost ended up eating spider soup. So R-Truth's worst nightmare almost happened to me.
Dudes.
In fact, I took a picture. It's not a very good one, but I'll post that in the Facebook group for people to see.
Of the spider?
The spider descending, yeah.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Danny's going to have a coronary over here.
I am very perturbed.
Perturbed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, you have been listening to Doing the Job, the wrestling podcast.
I made Danny sick.
The best fan-made podcast in the world today.
It's the best. I'm very uneasy right now.
Anyway, it's going to be Christmas in 3 days, so let's wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and that's not Happy Holidays. It's specifically a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Well, the rest of them, too. All of them.
Yeah, but, like, some of them happen. When is Kwanzaa?
I don't know. I'm going to say Happy Holidays forever.
But, like, Hanukkah already happened, so we don't have to count. Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa begins. Oh, Kwanzaa's like a multi-day event. I didn't know that. Yeah. It begins on the 26th. All right, so we can wish Merry Christmas and a Happy Kwanzaa. We'll be back before New Year, though.
Yeah.
Well, I will, and Sean will.
Yes. And we have
I'm going to miss the final show of the year. I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm not going to be here next week. I'll be backstage with Kill Switch Engagement.
It's okay, because I think we'll have a guest host next week in your place, Danny.
Yeah.
The fix is in. Anyway.
Well, happy New Year.
For Sean Michael Spurge and Denny Luggs, I'm M2J saying Merry Christmas. God bless us, everyone. Okay, so we can talk about Star Wars now because the show's over.
Yeah, I've been
So we're
talking
gonna do
about
it?
Star Wars a lot in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I feel like I've had this discussion so many times by this point.
Me and Sean last night, yeah, we were getting it in.
Well,
we were getting it
see,
in.
I've been saving,
So-
I've been reserving all of my Star Wars chat for this moment.
Oh, well,
Oh,
let's not-
wow.
let us not disappoint you then.
Right.
So,
Well,
Okay, so for anybody listening still, Star Wars spoilers ahead, like
Yes.
everything
Spoilers.
this
spoilers.
is it now.
Spoilers
we're,
aplenty.
We're getting into it. This
Like-
This is your chance. If you haven't seen Star Wars yet, turn off the show
This
and
is
come
the
back another time.
moment.
So we're giving you, we'll say 5, 4, 3 to get through the computer,
Hoochie Mama.
2 to turn it off, 1, and Star Wars is spoiled. Okay, let's go.
Jesus, Sean.
all right. So, Denny,
Yeah.
how amusing was it to see fucking Adam from Girls? Like,
Dude, it's fucking great,
because he's
bro.
just like, he's still,
Just talk about that.
he's still
So-
kind of Adam, but
Yeah,
he's,
yeah.
but he's like a Sith, well, a Sith in
Yeah.
training, and just like, especially the scene where he's got Rey like tied up in that like bondage table, and he's like, I could just take it from you. Like, it's just so Adam.
It's just Adam.
like you just see Adam being like, I have the Force, I could take it from you.
It's like, you've seen the map.
But okay, I liked his character because here's the thing: we don't see him in context to another like Force strong character for most of the movie. So you're like, oh, well, he's like a Sith Lord, and then you find out he's not a Sith Lord; he's a Sith in training. He's a Sith. He's a Sith cadet.
But, well, by the way, just like point of clarification, they never said the word Sith.
Oh yeah, no.
So like,
but I mean, like, but
for all intents and purposes,
for all intents and purposes, you see a black masked figure with a red lightsaber. That means Sith.
right?
That's
in the Star War,
right.
Yeah.
But then like you start seeing these little hints of things, like he loses his fucking mind and throws temper tantrums.
Yeah, which I like.
And
he's fucking unhinged.
Right. And
He's
then
the Dean Ambrose of
but
Star
then
Wars.
when we get to a point where, because he's unopposed as far as like his Force powers are concerned, so like for most of the movie, but then when we get to a point where someone else also contains, what do you call it, a mastering of the Force, so to speak, all of a sudden it's like, wait, like
Or just has it.
you ain't shit, buddy. And then like first he gets into a lightsaber battle with somebody who presumably has no Force abilities whatsoever.
That was a huge discussion point between the four of us last night.
Yeah, what did you think of the stormtrooper that whipped out like that weapon that he was able to contend against the lightsaber with? First of all,
That was cool. That was fine.
That was cool. He flat out
I'm
beat
not gonna. There's so many people who are like over analyzing. It's like, so the stormtrooper could just fight. And I'm like, well, it's like if that was like a true fucking Jedi master, which there aren't any left in the galaxy besides Luke Skywalker. It's like he probably would have fucking joked that guy in his little baton in like a second.
yeah, would
but
have just chopped his arm off that up at the end of the fight.
Yeah, but it was a dude who just touched a lightsaber for the first time, and like obviously, this First Order is created in the wake of the Empire, and they were like, "What fucking took us down? A Jedi with a fucking lightsaber. All right, let's have some type of insurance policy for lightsabers." You know what I mean?
I liked that they gave the stormtroopers some more personality. Like they noticed like they actually like they kind of had some like good body language and like kind of slapstick comedy to go with it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought something that was cool was speaking of personality. So when Kylo Ren was like flipping out inside the room and he was like just slashing away at everything, and then like the two stormtroopers are walking by,
yeah, they just
and they just go nope, and they just walk back the other way.
Yeah,
like that was a good.
But yeah, you start seeing these indications that like he doesn't really have all of his shit together, and then he someone who's not trained in the arts of the Force at all is able to kind of stand toe to toe with him. I mean, he ends up losing that exchange, but then when he has the fight with Rey, like they're pretty evenly matched to the point where she actually starts embarrassing him, and it isn't. And I'm guessing J.J. Abrams saw the Red Letter Media videos that Sean probably never watched.
Yeah. Wait, you mean their review of this movie or the old movies?
The Plinkett review of the prequels.
Oh,
because Red Letter Media has their review out of this one and they like it.
Oh yes, yeah, I watched it. Yeah,
they make fun of a lot of things, but they like it.
But they point out though they're nitpicking because they liked the movie and they paid close attention to it.
I could. Yeah, we could do the same.
But yeah, like the lightsaber battles aren't these pristine like like pieces of like 1,000 points of choreography. They're sloppy, engaging battles between people that really dislike each other to the point where like he gets all sweaty and he's chasing her like we ain't done yet, and they're just wailing the fuck out of each other until finally she gets the upper hand.
Yeah, I think in episode 9 we'll finally get like the as you just said, like the pristine battle when they're both like at their height, at the height of their powers.
Right, like he'll be a Sith Lord and she'll be a Jedi Master, and but the juxtaposition of his character is great. That he's just as like I'm the dark side of the Force, and like he's getting seduced by the light. And he's like, nope, got to stop that.
That's exactly what I said. I said that's the interesting thing about this movie is that in the other 6, it's always people who are trying to avoid turning to the dark side. Kind of, and like this is the one character who's like, I want to be on the dark side. I need to avoid turning to the light side because that's what's seducing him. Like that's never happened before.
Now, did you see the Han Solo dying coming from a mile away?
I mean, I knew not knew, but like I said, he's probably dead, like from a while ago. Like
pretty much, and especially once they got to the bridge, it was
once they got to the bridge, you're like, oh shit,
this is the moment. But even so, still. Like that hit me hard in the sense that like my body like went like cold and then numb. Like I legitimately went to go like reach for my friend. So Dennis, I watched it with AJ, one of my best friends, and I went to go like reach for his like arm just because like that's reactionary.
Wow.
And because I was like, holy fucking shit. But my body was so frozen that I couldn't even move. Like that's how bad I took that.
No,
that's what Danielle was doing to me. She was like grabbing and squeezing me, and like I didn't really react. I was just like I just saw it coming, and I was just like
I think
it was almost a sigh of relief. It's like okay,
so
he's
unfortunate,
done, and we could just go move on.
I think seeing it coming was what kind of it kind of took a little bit of the thrill out of it for me because like I saw it coming. But I was talking to Danielle about it too and thinking like Adam's about our age, right? So picture we're watching Star Wars when we're kids,
like 32 is our age. Yeah.
Picture we're watching Star Wars, right? And you see like these heroes, and you see Han Solo flying the Millennium Falcon, saving the world, and you're just like, wow, I'm gonna be the guy that grows up and kills him. I am gonna play the character that kills that character. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's weird. But I thought that was, and even in that scene, like he first he takes off the mask, and you're thinking, oh, what's gonna be wrong with him? And he's just Adam. And then,
it's just him. This not,
but
he has a really. So I was saying this, Eddie. He has a really Jewy face.
He's a big Jew.
But in that scene, like he kills Han Solo, and then Chewie I think it was Chewie shoots at him. Yeah, and he hits him. He just like you're just like, oh well, he's gonna block that or something. Just bang, and he's like, oh, you shot me in the shoulder, you a-hole. And what was the other thing I was just gonna say too? Something about what was it?
On the bridge?
Not the bridge. Oh, I thought this one completely caught me off guard. Like they probably telegraphed it, but for some reason I just was not prepared for it. And it was awesome. Was the reintroduction of the Millennium Falcon? Like, and that
I didn't catch that either until it happened.
And I think that got the biggest pop from the crowd I was in.
Yeah, that got a big one for me.
Like someone actually screamed, which by the way, it was great. I saw an 8:30 a.m. showing of the movie on Friday morning, and there was barely anybody in my theater. I got like perfect seats. There was one child and he didn't make any noise. I sat next to a rather large man at first, not next to, but like a few seats over from. And like every minute and a half, he would go like,
"Oh my god,
what the fuck is wrong with this guy?" So I just got up and moved. I didn't want to be near him. But when Han Solo died, someone like yelled like, "You're kidding me" or something like that. Which you're supposed to yell at when somebody returns, not when somebody dies. But the Millennium Falcon when they just like. I guess we'll get in that piece of garbage over there, and it's Millennium Falcon. It's like, I'm like, we're back.
I think the biggest pop of when I saw it the first time on opening night was the only one part that I got emotional for that, like, you guys, like Sean, you guys last night thought I was crazy for not seeing it coming, but I really just tried to, like, not like, the Han dying thing was just like, that was like, from the get-go, I'm like, I think Han's just dead in this because I think they have one final hurrah. Harrison's done with it. You know, they want to move on to the characters. It seemed like natural, like that was just going to happen. But Rey picking up the lightsaber at the end, like that was like everybody exploded for that. It was the big triumphant moment of the movie.
You know what? I started the clap for that in my theater. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's a clap-worthy I started clapping. Everybody started clapping. I'm like, come on.
That was the moment of the film for me. Like, I thought I was going to cry at the opening crawl. I didn't. I thought I was going to, like, like, get like emotional for like Han and Leia or the Falcon or this and that, and I just didn't. Like, I just was like excited, like, yes, this is awesome, but I didn't get like choked up emotional. And then I did for that, who was a brand new character, and that made me emotional because I was just invested in her journey thus far. That was like a testament of just like how effective like the new character in this new world is, and I was just like, yes. So I was very, very happy about that.
That was her hulking up,
She definitely.
And then she hulked up, yeah. Which
she hulked up during the battle at the end there.
Yeah,
like the Force.
But the story paralleled the first movie, A New Hope.
In
a lot of ways.
Which is fine.
It's just it was a lot of things that were the same.
But it was
also very different. Like, people are complaining, like, it's the same fucking movie. Like, no, it's not really.
Yeah. But
my bottom line, I've said it a million times to everyone else who everything is just like, they did a lot of familiar to reestablish Star Wars because it's been in such bad shape for a long time.
Right.
And it's so many years later from the originals, and it was familiar yet different. And then the next two movies are going to continue this story and go different places.
But
they familiar to establish. And
you also have to accept, though, like when it comes to just movies and storytelling in general, most stories have been told in some way, shape, or form. Like, Romeo and Juliet is Pocahontas, is, West Side Story, just name any kind of like forbidden love story. Like, these stories have been told before. This was just like a good, all right, Star Wars, back to basics, one story to rule them all. This is where all points in this movie are going, to this spot here.
Right.
I mean, there was a decent amount of fan service. When they show the thing that's basically like the Death Star 2000, and Han just, all right, how do we blow it up? Like, just not even batting an eyelash at it. Just like,
right.
All right, it's a big Death Star. How do we blow it up?
They needed to do a lot of fan service though after the other three, which was why I was totally fine with them like revisiting so many scenarios from Episode 4.
Right,
it's like whatever. They needed to get back on the fan side.
I don't understand the complaint.
We pretty much
like, this is so much bullshit. It's like, all right, let's make it familiar, but give you new shit to kind of like sink your teeth into and like anticipate further shit. And people are like, it's too much the same. I'm like, I think the problem with people is like they're just gonna complain always. Yeah. It's the same thing with wrestling. They're just gonna complain.
Like, what do you want? You had basically two protagonists in the movie, and you're not sure which one's going to become like the dominant of the two, and then it becomes apparent that it's going to be Rey,
right?
And then you have Kylo Ren, who is the muscle, who is like the muscle and the main heel. They had that general that like they would always, both of them would go in and report to the Supreme Evil Chancellor.
Yeah, he was like Tarkin.
What do you think his situation is going to be? You think like
no, he's not Tarkin. You're talking about the Emperor.
Yeah, Scoot.
That's talking about like the Emperor.
His name?
Oh, I thought you were talking about I thought you said the guys who were equal.
Yeah. What was his name? Harkin.
His name was Hux.
Okay, so him and Kylo Ren, like they're not like
reports to Snoke.
Like in the original trilogy, you kind of like got that like Vader was always like second in command to the Emperor, and that everybody was beneath Vader. Whereas in like this movie, it was kind of like, well, this guy's not a Sith Lord yet, so like there's still like a general, and they kind of go back and forth on what's the next step.
Actually, Tarkin is actually like higher ranking.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's higher ranking, but he's not like the Force using bad guy.
No. I like that Ren and Hux like don't necessarily like each other, so there's like friction there. So there's another layer of that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like people beef with Vader all the time when they would be like, "Oh, you're still into that like jibber jab from like 100 years ago, Vader. Shut up!" And he would be like, "I'm gonna choke you with my mind. Maybe that'll shut you up, bitch." But like even that scene where they're on the Millennium Falcon talking to Han Solo, and he just says like, "Oh, the Jedi, this, that, and the other thing." He's like, "That's all true." Like. It was kind of just like a cool thing. Like, you realize that it's a generation removed now from that stuff, and that's like what happens in real life. Things just get lost.
Yeah.
It is kind of silly that it's only 30 years later, and it's like so legendary, and you know what I mean? Like, it's so like, wow, you really don't even, you don't know. Like it's not like a record. But then again, they did know, like, they all knew who Luke was, and they knew who
heard of it, but they dismissed it as legend.
They've heard of him, but even like Rey was just like, I thought he was a myth. Like,
right.
It's weird that only 30 years later, like, you think that he, like, because if you think that was like real world history, he'd be like the most well known guy. Like,
but you know what though, like
Penn
and Teller have touched on this before though. In one of their episodes of Bullshit, they were saying how Elvis died in what was it, 1977, and by like the mid 90s or something like that, a bunch of people that knew him, quote unquote, come out with his what was considered to be his fried chicken recipe, and it was like they were all different. Like people that knew him, they were like, well, he used this much paprika and this, and he's like, okay, look, this is one little thing, but it's from people that say they knew this guy maybe 2 or 3 decades later. This is the episode about the Bible, and they're like, how much shit from like thousands of years ago do you think got all fucked up over the last couple of thousand years?
Right.
Like, so it's kind of like that. Like, they think like my father has told me so many times over the years that when he was, he was whatever in like early late teens, whatever, when JFK was assassinated, he was like, it was pretty cut and dry. It was Lee Harvey Oswald. Everybody knew it was Lee Harvey Oswald. They presented the evidence. It was him. They busted him. And it was like all of a sudden, 20 years later, we started getting all these conspiracy things, and now it's like taken for granted that it's like it's always been this mythical thing, and no one knows what the fuck happened, and it confuses everybody. And he's like, that wasn't the consensus when I was, a kid in '63.
Right.
And like, so it just like, and I remember watching MTV in like the late '90s and having people say that they've revolutionized the music video by having like music videos that tell stories, and I'm like, Michael Jackson did that in the '80s. I was there.
Yeah, that happened already.
Yeah,
I don't know. Those are all really good points, but to actually like, at the very least, like we know that JFK existed. He wasn't a myth. Like Elvis was not a myth. Like so for her to actually like, only 30 years later to like think like, oh, Luke Skywalker was like, I thought he was a myth. Like I not even know if he existed. That struck me as odd. I mean, I understand it's part of the plot of the movie, so I look past it. But
you know what's odd too? It's like Luke's a myth, but they meet Han Solo. They're like, oh yeah, you're Han Solo. You know what I mean?
Right. Like if you know one existed, like in his story, like they all should coincide together. Like in knowing what happened.
These are little things. I mean,
but what we started to allude to,
people hold it against these kind of things against the movie, where it's just kind of like, all right, but
I liked it. But what they alluded to, what we were alluding to on the show before was that so the Empire has fallen, and what was the rebellion now has reestablished the Republic. So now the enforcement of the Republic, which would just be like the army, is now defending against the First Order, which is like the resurgence of the Empire. But they're no longer the dominant hand in the galaxy. Like the Republic now stands once again. So why is the thing that's going against the First Order the Resistance? Like they would just be like the thing. Like they are the Republic.
Yeah.
Like their army would be like the army of the Republic. They wouldn't be like a rebellion or a resistance against something that was resisting them.
I'm in full agreement because I thought that too. But now just thinking about it, like here's like my dance around to be like, okay, like I'll just buy it. Is that the Republic, took Leia, who has experience in these type of things, right? And just created another division of just like, well, you're set up to deal with the First Order and like try to stop it.
But
you know what I mean?
you wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't call it a resistance. That sounds more like
if a country tried to take over America, like the army wouldn't set up like a division of the army called the Resistance to resist that country. The army would just do it.
Right, but this is I think the thing is like, remember how the old Republic didn't have an army, and they were like, oh, we need an army of the Republic, and they made the clones and blah blah blah, right?
Right.
So maybe like the Empire fell, and it's like, all right, well, maybe they didn't learn from their they didn't learn, and they were like, yeah, we still don't need an army, and they set up a resistance because now we have this new order thing. Whatever.
Didn't sit right with me.
But like, yeah, it's fine. I wish it was a little more clear. Also, a little more clear on just like, yeah, exactly, like who's in charge? Like, did the First Order rise and like, are they ruling the galaxy, or are they just like this like evil force in the galaxy fucking shit up?
Right.
Which I think it's the latter from what it comes off as.
But yeah. I mean,
I've mentioned like a lot of it's unfortunate that so much shit like that had to have happened between episode 6 and 7 went by the wayside to not be a movie, because like so much fucked up shit. Like everything was all fine and dandy at the end of episode 6, and to get to the point where it's like, oh well, we're right back where we were at episode 4. Like, holy shit! Like, what? Who fucked up? Who fucked up this badly?
I guess we gotta read. There's a
like I said last night. Like, that's bullshit.
No, you don't have to. You shouldn't have to. There could have been something in the like. I would have liked. Here's my. My first viewing, I had 2 complaints. And now I have a third after my second viewing, and the third is my major complaint about the movie. Like in the first viewing, I was kind of like, I'm just personally not really feeling the look of the Snoke. Hopefully, like he is fleshed out in the next 2 movies, or he has a different look or something. I don't know, but like I just wasn't feeling his whole look and deal. And the Starkiller base thing where it was like I like the familiarity. That was a little too much. Like we could have just had like a different kind of like just a base that they had that they blow up, not a whole fucking planet to be like, here is Super Death Star on steroids to be like bigger and better, like you said, Death Star 2000. So like I wasn't really a fan of that. Ultimately, like it doesn't bother me that much. I'm just not really a fan of it. But on the second viewing, my major thing is it didn't bother me at first, but now it does is the pacing a little bit. Like I love that it's like kind of like the breakneck, a little like boom, 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 like as opposed to the prequels, like shit is happening, like things happen, and like it moves the plot along, and it keeps going and it keeps going. But I did just feel like in one or two instances that when I felt like they were sitting down to like really like, you know, two characters were going to talk, like Finn and Rey were going to talk about some shit, or like Finn and Rey were going to talk to Han about some shit. It was just like you were there for a minute, and then boom, something happened, and then action started again. Where it was kind of like I would have liked a breather here and there, like maybe some exposition. Whereas like the prequels were all exposition, a little exposition from Leia of like how we're in this state now. Like by telling a character like maybe someone who doesn't know, you're thus informing the audience. Like inform the audience a little bit of like how did we get here, or what are the implications of this, or like hey, those planets that just got blown up, what was that? You know. What's their significance? It's just the Republic? Maybe, like, there could have been some more exposition.
Yeah, I felt like they were trying to, like... It's hard to empathize, like, with the planet blowing up if you don't really know, like, what's on the planet. Like, at least Alderaan, they were like, hey, it's your whole planet of Alderaan, where there's people and things that you like. And it was like, goodbye.
Right. And even if they're not going to explain those things for, like, if they, like, don't want to explain those things, sometimes you just need that because, like you said, it's such a breakneck pace. You need to just like be able to take a breather for a second, you know, like okay, let me catch my breath.
It did feel like one of the things for anybody that's watched True Blood versus whoever's read the books, like the books are actually not as good as the show because the author just goes too far in the books. Like literally, you go from like the main story where just shit is just happening constantly and they're battling people and blah blah blah, and then like they get away from like one narrative finally comes to a close, and then the characters go into like a liquor store and it gets robbed while they're in it, and you're just like, wow, like nothing. You don't get like a moment to just like chill out and have a fucking drink. It's like everything has to be like an exciting adventure.
Yeah, sometimes it's just too much. I wonder if a lot of that stuff got left on the cutting room floor of like, you know, like random dialogue, like talking about that shit.
I think it did as per like because JCY read the novelization, which is like from the writers, and it's like the full like everything. And there's little bits and details that they left out of the movie to like flesh it out. Like he said, for example, like Kylo knows who Rey is. He doesn't like inform the reader, but he says it and it's like, oh, it's you. Like he knows who she is. So I think they left it out just for like mystery.
So we think she's going to be either
she's
Luke's
someone.
Daughter?
She's something.
She's got to be something. She thinks she's Luke's daughter, or like in Luke's lineage of some way.
I mean, that's the big
Everybody
thing.
keeps saying that, yeah.
I almost hope not, just for the sake of like everybody is family,
right? Like I'd almost rather she's just
like,
someone else.
I'd rather her just be something else, but apparently she's someone.
I mean, clearly she's. I mean, they show that she's abandoned on that planet.
There's other stuff, like there is like some of these things, but I could see why they made the decision to be like, we really want this movie to just be boom, boom, boom. This movie was what 2:15. I would have taken a 2.5. I would have taken 2.5 to have a little bit more talking.
I definitely liked how she kept wanting to go back to her planet, and they were everybody she said that to was like, "Why the fuck you want to go back there?" Like it was almost like you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Like
it really it almost did become the running joke.
By the way, I had literally like 25 to 30 minutes of previews before they fucking started this movie. Did they do the same thing to you?
Twice, yeah. We went through like we got in this last night like halfway through the preview, so.
Right, the first night I went, they had like a
first night.
Like, oh my fucking god! Like it was like, all right, it's like 16 movies are coming out that like I don't want to see. This one movie that was coming out, it was called The Fifth Wave or something like that. It would look like Independence Day, it was like big spaceships like show up and like hover over Earth, and then things happen, and they basically aliens try to take over.
By the way, that wasn't the Independence Day trailer, right?
What?
Like there was Independence Day.
One at a time. Dennis, you go.
There was Independence Day,
right?
Too,
that's what I'm getting at. So there's a movie called The Fifth Wave, which is apparently these aliens do like they do a bunch of these like attacks like in one like order after another. Like the first wave is this, the second wave is disease, and I was like, oh, it looks kind of like Independence Day, but like with a slower burn, but like same like big alien ships hovering over Earth. Then like 2 previews later, Independence Day 2.
Did you guys? We didn't see it last night, Sean, but when I went with Danielle on the opening night, there was this trailer that was so out of place. Like everything was like action and like superheroes and like epic shit. And then there was this one Jennifer Garner movie. Did you see this?
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that.
Oh my dude. The biggest pop of the night was this. I swear to God, like of all the comedy in Star Wars, which was good, that this was the biggest laugh of the night. Was this trailer? It was unbelievable. We're watching this shit, and it's like this dramatic, like I think it's from Disney. It's like this dramatic shit where like they have a family, and the daughter like is sick, and she has this incurable disease, and I don't know why. And it's Jennifer Garner being serious, like you gotta save my daughter, blah blah blah, and everything. And then like now it like cuts to the daughter is playing with her sibling like up in a tree, and she falls and hits her head. And they take her to the hospital, and at first, like everyone's like, "What the fuck? Like this kid can't catch a break. Like it's like has an incurable disease. It falls out of a fucking tree. Like what fucking movie is this?" And then the next scene after the kid falls out the tree is Jennifer Garner talking to the doctor, and she's like, "Wait, so you're telling me?" And this is like almost verbatim. Like, so you're telling me she fell down, hit her head in a certain way, and now she's not sick anymore? And he's like, "I can't explain it, but yeah." And then it's just like everyone just like bursts out laughing like, the fuck? Are you kidding me?
That
like,
sounds ridiculous.
That sounds amazing.
Like, it was like almost like this movie was just such a joke. Like, I'm like, wow. And it was everything. It was like, you're showing us the entire movie. This is the most ridiculous premise ever. Like, the acting was like, it was so melodramatic, like, for the dumbest thing. It was like, everyone was like losing their mind. Like, it was fucking hilarious. Like, the whole theater was like laughing and like carrying on.
I wish I would have seen that. That sounds pretty funny.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, me and Daniel looked at each other like, "Oh my god!"
Like, I see it now.
And it was like so out of fucking place.
Yeah, all the previews that I saw were all like typical fucking.
We got a lot of Disney movies,
Nothing I would want
like
to see.
like Kung Fu Panda 4, and
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got
that.
Kung Fu. I got Kung Fu Panda.
There was some
that.
movie about like a rabbit detective who they need to run a license plate at the DMV, and it's all sloth work.
I like that. I want to see that.
I got like every Marvel movie ever.
Yeah,
as my trailers.
The X-Men is the one I'm most excited for.
The Apocalypse movie.
That's
the one
that's Oscar Isaac. That's Poe as Apocalypse.
Okay, there's the Iron
Civil
Man
War.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give
By the
a
way,
fuck
but
about
No.
so when they first show those pilots show up, like the cavalry comes in, that was Poe in one of the X-wings.
Yeah,
because like, see, I didn't
the
recognize him because I didn't remember his face. So like, you just see like a pilot with like the helmet on and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay, a pilot, and then I didn't realize it was him till Finn sees him.
Yeah, somehow he seems him like look at that little tiny ship.
Oh, the moment I saw BB-8, I was like, cash cow. Total fucking.
Please,
I'm sitting there. I'm marketing this thing in my head. I'm like, wow, this thing's gonna be a plush doll, a backpack, a keychain.
Dude, it's more shit than you even know. Like after Christmas, I will tell you the shit I bought for people.
Okay.
I went to the Disney store today.
They have like a remote control one that you control with your phone. Like it's endless.
They had a big ass BB-8 set at the register.
Yeah,
that was like the thing. Yep.
Oh man,
but that's smart.
All right, so Sean, you really need to watch the Red Letter Media review of The Phantom Menace.
Isn't that the one that I watched?
All of them.
Did you watch it?
He's got to watch all of them.
No, I think that's the one you sent me.
You really need to just watch the first one. You watched it. It's a 7-part video. It's 10 minutes.
It's in one. You could find it in one or two.
They're all about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think you can anymore. I think that the website they were on.
Yeah, you definitely can. No, go on their website, redlettermedia.com. They'll have it in
maybe
one or two parts. It originally was on YouTube when they had the time restrictions. It was on in pieces, but not. You can get the whole thing.
All right.
I suggest watching all of it because it's all fucking amazing. The second is even better actually because they break down the romance thing where it's like they list all the things he does right to like make her fall in love with him, and then all the things are wrong, and it's like ding and like and like being creepy.
I was just thinking that
children.
Let's see Star Wars reviews.
Yeah, like Yeah, saying inappropriate things. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, you gotta watch.
Let me see if I can find that one spot there.
Well, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna have a lot of time.
Yeah, no. If you go to their website, it starts with it's the playlist on YouTube of all the parts. It's not one video.
That's awesome.
I watched it. I watched it in two parts.
They used to have it on
maybe they changed
on Blip when Blip used to like let users upload videos. That's where we had the pizza videos originally, and then Blip just was like, "Fuck you guys! If you don't make us tons of money, we're canceling your account." That's pretty much they just canceled all their accounts. So
no one uses Blip, so
yeah. Now Blip is history. So fuck them. I hope they die. I hope they're all dying right now.
Yeah, probably. They're probably all dying. Probably starvation because they can't afford anything.
Like they're just sitting at their desks and they're like, "Hey, we're Blip," and then like, "Geez, my I can't breathe," and they just die.
Yep,
that's what I hope happens. I'm a bad person, and I need to be fired.
You're a monster.
But anyway, yeah. So, Sean, so you watch those, or you don't know now?
I watched. Well, originally you sent me episode 1, and I watched it. I just didn't watch the other ones.
Okay, that's what
I remember enjoying it quite a lot.
I really feel like the first one is like really the important one.
Okay, I'll rewatch it again.
I would watch them.
It'll be good.
I mean, like they're all entertaining, but like that, I feel like the first one is like anything else. Like the first one is the best, and then the sequel is.
Well, it's just the other two. The only thing that bogs down the other two is that he does more like out of review, like little comedy bits. Like in the third one, he has like a woman like. I don't know if it's continuing. Yeah, like the second and third one's all about like he kidnapped this woman and then like she's locked in the basement and shit and
then
whatever. Like it's like a whole like side like story going on outside of the review that they keep stopping to like do like vignettes of. So it's just kind of like that bogs it down.
Yeah, it becomes like its own narrative.
Is a very awkward,
wait.
inappropriately placed compliment.
Some of you.
Oh yeah, here it is. What I was talking about. Yeah.
Inappropriate compliment. She smiles lovingly and dismisses it as nerves. Women don't mind an initial nervousness from a guy. It's complimentary and cute to them. But it gets old real fast. Assertiveness needs to take over quickly. But too much assertiveness and arguing with your boss to impress her comes off as a pathetic and desperate attempt for attention. Inappropriate assertiveness. Next, women like when you ask them questions about things. They like to talk about themselves a lot and don't really care what you have to say. For example, in this next scene, Padme mentions how she's worked for a year on legislation to oppose the Military Creation Act, or something.
I haven't worked for a year to defeat the Military Creation Act.
Even if you could care less about this shit, you just pretend like you do. You can say, well, that sounds interesting. Tell me about this piece of legislation. Then she'll start running her mouth, and you could think about sex while she's talking. Occasionally you should nod, and always be prepared with some follow-up questions. Instead, Anakin misses this very obvious lead and immediately starts talking about himself and his Jedi stuff.
I am truly thankful to be his apprentice.
Talking too much about yourself and your job. She doesn't care. Then it gets worse.
Yeah, that's pretty much
He starts bitching and complaining about his job and his boss.
Although there's some point he does the thing where like he does like things girls say, like he needs to be spontaneous, but only when I'm expecting it, and just like he just making fun of like women, pretty much.
Right. That's good. Yeah, I'll watch that for lunch for tomorrow.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
The other thing I was going to touch on was that like I thought they utilized the original cast like really well.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they were accessories to the story. Like it wasn't really centered around them. Like Han Solo and Chewie really got to do the most.
Right, because it was their farewell. So
right.
I mean, at least the Han and Chewie relationship.
Yeah, and it was done. They kind of like just kind of bridged like the passing of the torch, so to speak. Especially when they do the map thing. The map thing at the end.
Yeah.
Which
I've heard so many stupid complaints, obviously, and one of them is Leia didn't do much. I'm like, what the fuck does Leia ever do anyway? And like, what else could she have done crammed into this movie where it's about new characters?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Leia was everything she needed to be.
What does Leia ever do? Like the biggest thing she did was fucking bust Han out of the carbonite. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's 60 years old. What the hell do you expect her to friggin' do?
Yeah, she's 60 years old, bipolar, and like mind melted from drugs. Like I'm lucky she's standing upright.
Yeah, she kind of sounded like she was slurring a bit.
Oh yeah, she was probably she's probably hitting the sauce in back there. You know.
But by the way, so the going out like toward the end of the movie, you have Rey climbs that mountain, that big mountain. She's going up and up and up, and she finally gets to the top of that hill, and you see this hooded figure with their back to Rey, right? And
Guys
as I'm
taking
watching
this.
this movie for the first time and soaking in this new Star Wars experience, and it should be this big epic thing, all I'm thinking of, turns around, flips up the hood, John Cena! and then the credits just roll to John Cena's theme. Totally what should have happened.
So, dude, I didn't think of that at all. You have to make that, and like in a week or so, when it's safe to post like a spoiler type thing, you just have to post that.
Yeah, but he could do it right now because it's not showing Luke's face.
But yeah, but you kind of would know.
Yeah, it's the ending of the movie.
But I gotta wait
that
for
is brilliant.
But no one knows.
I gotta wait for a good bootleg of that to come out though. It's like I have yet to see one.
That is so funny.
But like as I'm watching this movie for the first time and the only time at this point, I was just like, oh, John Cena, this is a great unexpected Cena.
That is a great one.
It's like I'd be poor if I were rich, I would waste my money on shit like that.
That's a perfect one.
So yeah, that's the Star Wars saga.
Yeah.
It's the War of the Star.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This Goblin Island? This ain't Goblin Island. What the fuck?
Is that it? Can we
I guess we're done.
bring our Star Wars conversation to a close?
I don't know. I mean, I can. What else you got? I mean,
I'm pretty gratified with everything. I just
I love the movie. I love
the only
new
thing
characters.
I really hope we get now because
I already talked about my complaints.
they did the thing with the she has Luke's old lightsaber, the one that he lost in Empire.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh yeah.
Not the one he had in Jedi.
Slight complaint.
Right, and she says, "I'll explain that later." And then we don't. And did that character die? The girl who had the
she's not dead. And you know what was the first thing I thought of though? The first thing when she said, "That's another story for another time. Just take the shit." It reminded me immediately of Terminator Genesis. When they're like, "Who sent you back?" It's like that information is classified, and then they just never come back to it.
That was probably like they probably just didn't want to have to like delve into that. Like that was probably their way of asking the question for the fans, because obviously we would have that question. Where the fuck did you get that?
Like, how the fuck?
So they did ask it for us, and they were just like, "Yeah, it's not important."
Like it was kind of like, all right, yeah, we know. Lest anybody thinks that we just fucked this up, we know.
Yeah, we know. Which is we don't need to tell the story for it to move it along. That was their way of doing that.
I also. I wasn't sure about this, and then on the Red Letter Media review, they kind of like accentuated this that like Kylo Ren's lightsaber has like a weird like flamey look to it, and then they pointed out like that like Luke's lightsaber really didn't, and that like you thought like that might be like the new repackaging of the lightsabers, like that's just how they're going to look, but then it was
that's just he made his own, and it's not perfect.
Yeah, his lightsaber's fucked up. Yeah.
But hey, he'll have a new one in the next one because his saber's done now.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell what happened. Like at first, I thought she cut his arm off, but then like it looked like she I saw his lightsaber was just gone, and I just was like, "What, did he drop it? Did she cut his arm off?" Like I was like so confused, and then that was in like the ground split, and they were just done fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think it was fucked up, but then someone, I think Danielle pointed out, someone said like, "Hey, like they fucked his lightsaber, is done." So.
That was one of the things in the original trilogy that I absolutely fucking love, and it was in Return of the Jedi, and like you don't think of it this way because it's like Darth Vader, but like it totally is the scene where Luke goes on like this little like mini rant about how he's like, that's why you didn't kill me last time we fought, and that's why you won't turn me into the Emperor. And he's going on this like really like deep like conversation, but like he kind of just talking, and Vader's like trying to resist being tempted by the light side. And he's just like, he just starts making small talk. He's like, "Oh, I see you got a new weapon." Like, if you watch that scene, like Luke just keeps talking, and he's like, and I know there's good in you, and blah 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 blah, and blah blah blah. And you just see like Darth Vader's fucking with his lightsaber, and he goes, "Oh, I see you made a new lightsaber here, kiddo. Good for you." Like, it's so weird.
I gotta go back and rewatch that. That one scene.
I like it.
I like it.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. So I guess it's one of those where it's like, damn, it really feels like typical. Like, here's the MacGuffin of the movie, and it's just like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, whatever. Like bullshit. Like, but it's
what was
I'm pretty sure if they do it in the next movie.
Well, the MacGuffin of the movie was the map.
Oh yeah. Well.
That was what everybody was after.
Yeah, everyone was after the map. Yeah, I guess that is the MacGuffin. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
They'll explain next one. Everyone's been very short-sighted about this movie. They're like, this and that. I'm just like, this is a 3-movie arc. This is like, it's Act 1. You know what I mean?
See, I don't know the people you keep saying. Like, I don't know the people you're talking to. Everybody I talked to loved it.
Yeah, well,
I've heard mostly positive.
My friends love it, but then it's like you look on Facebook and you see.
Oh, fuck that! Yeah,
well, that's just now you're looking at the masses, you know.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, all the you people
dislike The Force Awakens.
It's like you got to realize it's like it's in a continuing movie franchise that are like, you know, especially that these are like parts that are going to be continued and it's a trilogy. You know, this is just the first act, but it would be one thing if they didn't do enough to give the story its own legs to stand on. Like it's going to tell its own story, but then it's going to do it's going to leave you plenty of unanswered shit.
Like, don't people understand this? Like, based on all the superhero movies that we've had in the last, 100 years now, like, where, like, the first movie is, like, establishing the character, seeing how they become the superhero,
right,
and then just overcoming the first challenge, and then the next movie we could launch right into something else. Like, we don't need all this backstory.
Yeah, they did it perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the thing at the very beginning, or toward the beginning of the movie, when that guy that character is trying to get BB-8 like in a net, and she Ray shoos him away and says like, "Get out of here, Tito." Did that thing look like an ET to anybody else, but like covered in something to like kind of obscure it?
No.
Next time you watch it, pay close attention to it. It looks to me like an ET.
Oh, Maggle paying credit. He sent me. Remember, I was talking about the guy that looked like Sebulba, right? Who died, by the way, which is funny. So it's almost like, fuck the prequels. But his character name is Ello Asti, which is a Beastie Boys reference to their album Hello Nasty, without the H in the end.
Huh.
As per J.J. Abrams.
Well, he must really like the Beastie Boys because he also used them in the Star Trek movies he did.
Yeah.
They were in there, like the Beastie Boys.
Well, not like.
Well, the song was "Sabotage." Was the song?
Oh, in the trailer, yeah, for the new one, yeah.
Well, that's like Kirk listens to them, like, yeah.
Like Kirk was listening to Sabotage.
Yeah.
I'm telling all of y'all, it's a sabotage.
So I haven't really watched Star Trek movies, but like it seemed like a weird song to use for that movie.
I think he did a kind of a poor job with the Star Trek movies. Like, I'm much happier with Star Wars.
I think they look and they're direct, like fun action, directed nice. They look cool.
I didn't find them that fun. Like,
the writing, I like the first one better than the second one a little bit. Actually.
Well, here's the problem. Also,
the writing of the second one's atrocious.
The first one was supposed to be the like. We're figuring shit out. We're getting our shit together as a crew, but we're not quite there yet. And then the second movie, like,
they still did that.
They did that again. It was like, we're done with this. This shouldn't be happening anymore.
Yeah, no, that's why I thought the second movie is kind of fail. Like, I walked out of there at first, like, oh, that was fun. Like, that was really cool. And then, like, you think about it, and it's just like, man, like, what? Khan sucked. His plan was stupid. He was awful. And it was still them getting their shit together. And now it's like, by that movie ends, it's like, okay, now we're searching the new frontier. It's like, okay. I don't know. Hopefully this next one's good. Because I'll see the next one, too, because I'm, like, invested in them
I'm going to wait for it to... I saw the first two in Star Trek we're talking about right now?
Yeah, I saw the second one in theaters. I missed the first one in theaters.
I saw them both in theaters, so I'm going to wait for the next one to come out before I rush into it, because, I get blech. All right, then. Let's bring our Star Wars conversation to a close. Thanks for anybody.
So. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. No.
Final thoughts on the Star War.
More John Cena. Da, 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 da.
Buy or sell that Rey ends up being related to somebody important in the Star Wars saga.
I'll buy it.
Probably,
It'll be somebody.
Yeah.
They can't just leave that alone.
Over under number of lightsaber battles in Episode 8. 1.5.
I was going to say 2. I guess over. I feel like there's got to be 2. They got to up the ante.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Well, there was 2 in this one.
There were
right?
2, yeah.
Yeah, I should have went 2. 2 is actually the more accurate number. So
I'm going to push.
Yeah, push it. Push on the 2.
You don't want to overdo. You don't want to overdo the lightsaber battles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, wait. There were technically. Would you count the stormtrooper against?
I count a lightsaber battle. It has to be two lightsabers.
Okay,
that's how I interpret it. Yeah.
I might even go under. I might even say there should be only one.
Just one main one at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So the Chancellor, what's his name again? Snooky.
Snoke. Supreme Leader Snoke.
Snooky.
You think Snoke is gonna be like 2'7" or something like that?
I was
Really, he's really small. Yeah, that's another thing. Everyone's
like he's gonna be like Yoda size.
Over under
Yeah,
number of feet tall that Snoke.
Oh my god, that would be a great twist if Snook is like related to Yoga.
Yoga.
I said that whole sentence wrong. I just said Snook is related to Yoga. Okay, hold on. But if General Snook or whatever his name is, what the hell's his name?
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Okay, so if Stokes is related to Yogurt, then that'd be an awesome twist if he's like the evil brother of Yoda that like went the dark side immediately and was like the Hulk Hogan or Babe Ruth of like evil force powers.
I feel like episode 8 they should just completely cross Star Wars and Spaceballs.
We're just finishing our Star Wars conversation. Hold on, I'm about to hang up anyway. Give me 1 second.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
No, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm about to be out. We're done, right?
We're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out.
All right.
PCs.
Peace. Bye, Dennis. Anyway.
All right. Well, that was abrupt.
Sean, you got any closing comments?
No, not really. I think the discussion that I got. So I saw it twice, and the discussion I got into with a lot of people after day 1, it seemed like people agreed with me, and after day 2, more specifically, Matt, Andrew, and Denny, Andrew, and JCY, they all disagreed with me. So I was my only complaint, and whatever, I don't care. I love the movie. Was how easily Finn was able to contend with
Kylo Ren.
With Kylo Ren, even though he lost and it wasn't.
But again,
long. To me, I was kind of like Kylo Ren was way stronger with the Force.
But see, that's the thing. But
he should have like massacred him.
See, the thing that I was thinking though, like that was part of his character is that like we see him and we think that he's like this developed Sith Lord, and then we start realizing that like he's totally an apprentice. He's not anywhere near being a Sith Lord. He loses his fucking temper multiple times in the movie and like loses his fucking mind and like can't keep it cool. And he just seems like he's not put together yet. Like he's still figuring shit out. And like, out again, like using like maybe he should have been like utilizing the Force more.
Yeah,
like
right.
For example, like as a plot device, I really hated this when he just like he waves his hand and Rafe like passes out. That pissed me off. But
that was one of my things.
Yeah,
I said, yeah.
But like in terms of like like who's he training to lightsaber battle with like in this period now? 'Cause there's nobody to duel with, so like he's inexperienced. So like a trained stormtrooper like should be able to like maybe yield him a bit, but he's still like the stormtrooper loses.
The thing, my thing was more of the fact that even though he's an apprentice still, like it's the fact that the stormtrooper, because I mean, at the end of the day, unless if he ends up having the Force like within him, the Finnis is, like he is at the end of the day just like a random strong stormtrooper.
Right.
He's not like, he's not one with the Force. So for that guy to just pick up a lightsaber, like and like get like lose pretty badly to another random stormtrooper earlier in the movie, and then all of a sudden to do battle with somebody who is clearly strong enough with the Force, because like he's just stopping blaster shots in midair and fucking just like freezing people. So I mean, like I'm thinking far into it. Obviously, like it was fine, but that was my one thing where I was kind of like, that's kind of stupid. Like so to the point where Dennis was just like, well, you can't just have Finn just get destroyed within 2 seconds, and my response to that was just like, then that shouldn't have happened at all.
Yeah, I think I agree with you for the most part. Like he should have maybe put up a fight for like a minute and then just gotten jobbed out.
Exactly, and then that's when Rey just gets the lightsaber.
Right. Like Rey, at least they show us that like she has that staff that she walks around with, and she's like adept with it, so she like kind of has an idea of what she's doing.
Yeah, along with the fact that she clearly has the Force within her.
Right. She starts like developing it like on her own. She starts like pushing him out of her head and reading his thoughts and.
Yeah. So clearly, like between those two things, like it's very easy to see how she could contend with him.
Right.
Finn in like a like if it was some kind of different battle, then maybe, but like in a lightsaber battle, like nah.
Yeah. Or like so. he should have been able to like maybe go toe to toe with Kylo Ren, like lightsaber wise, but then like he should have just like waved his hand and like threw him against the tree or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, something to that effect.
Yeah.
So that was my minor complaint. My only other actual complaint that I had, which was kind of like, whatever, I get it. It's like a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. We have to move the shit along. Was the fact of how like super easily they infiltrated like an entire planet and was like, okay, boop, done. Like they pretty much just they literally walked through the front door and was like, all right, we're taking shit over. And then we're just like, okay, we're just going to blow this shit up.
Yeah.
And like it was one of those things I totally looked past because I'm like, all right, I get it. It's a movie. It has to move along. It's fine.
But then, like, if they got out of it unscathed, you'd be like, okay, like it probably would be more unacceptable. But the fact that like Han dies,
yeah,
you're just like, okay, right. so there was a sacrifice in there. It wasn't just like they walked in, like conquered and walked out. Like like a main hero of the galaxy got served in this exchange.
Yeah, so that was fine.
Some people thought he got bitched out from that, and I'm just like, it's his son. Like, his son took advantage of the soft spot. Like, that's made sense.
Exactly, and I mean, and it goes perfectly. I don't know if they intended to do this or not, but it goes perfectly with what he said earlier. So when they were first on the Millennium Falcon, and then like the two opposing forces, like I guess he borrowed money from. And before that, he's just like, they're like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to talk my way out of it like I always do.
Yeah.
And he found the one situation he couldn't talk his way out of.
Yeah.
Because it was his son.
Right.
And there you go. And like that was perfect.
Yeah. It's a fitting end for his character. Like he shouldn't die of old age, and he shouldn't like die at the hands of some like space pirate. Like it's his son who's going to be a Sith Lord.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Like who else would you rather kill Han Solo?
Exactly. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I'm going to end the show. Call it a night.
Sounds good.